But you know, that way you put out for your, I'm gonna say, I put on in draws early, but we don't know how well that come on. But what a way you're up and bright and perky early in the morning.
I have been up and bright and perky since 5 o'clock this morning,
Ooh, you should
waiting for the show to
have
start.
earlier. Next time, 5 o'clock.
Waiting for the show to start.
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you're up and all is well. You know, so much happening around us. How was your week?
What kind of question they ask me every week? I ask me, how my week?
Yeah,
How me
because
remember?
it's important to understand how each other has been.
How,
You know, so
how me remember what happened all of this week?
no man, you cannot live so. Things bad, and you have to remember something significant or something so bad must have happened that made you say, "Boy, what
Mm,
a week."
well, something good happened. Let me see now. This week we got confirmation that our what do you call it again? Our conference, or both conferences for next year. One is going to be
Uh,
at Broward College, that's the education one, and the next one, the health one, is going to be at FIU, Florida International
Whoa.
University. So prepare next year. Uh,
Okay, so soon we can
June
share
and
dates and stuff.
August.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So that's exciting news. So I'm glad for that.
Hmm.
Yes, the whole heap of things are going in the news, but so we'll see. I'm sure that you will start reading them, and then we will get to put our input on there. We're here Saturday mornings at well, this morning we start 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so this morning we're after earlier than usual start. Leo wanting to test my mental ability to be up at this hour. He tried to test Michelle's mental ability to be up at
That's
this
when
hour.
me and I get up.
She's not getting up. But Michelle will sure be here for the usual 10 to 12 slot on your side. So we look forward to that
So she
time.
will be a guest this morning.
No, she won't be no guest. She coming our usual time to do our thing. So, guys, we hope that you had a good week. I had a really productive week, did a lot of things. And it's also Cancer Awareness Month. I don't know that we've spoken about it. I made an effort to be wearing my pin this morning. I wear it all week from October start. I've been wearing it. So just
Yeah.
a reminder, cancer awareness. A
Well,
lot of
it's a lot of awareness this month,
yes,
Let me find them. But I want to specifically talk about breast cancer this month because it
yes.
is, in
Okay,
fact,
good.
so, but let me see how much awareness that we have this month of October. Month of October awarenesses.
Yes. Make us be aware of the awarenesses. Because
So,
one we know for sure is the cancer awareness and mental health. But go
so,
on, what
so the
else?
first one is National ADHD Awareness Month. What is
Attention
ADHD?
disorder rated.
It's
Yes.
isn't it attention deficit age? We don't know age disorder. What is age for again? It's the
Eh.
adult one, right? The adult one, that right?
So the age mean adult.
Right.
Adult.
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 Oi! National Down Syndrome Awareness Month. National Physical Therapy Month.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Oh, okay.
And when the people then say they name too much picking they name too much sugar.
Okay, all right. So
Okay.
National Physical Therapy Month. So if you have your hand and it now work too good this month, make sure you got the physiotherapist, right?
Yes.
Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, right?
Pregnancy and infancy loss.
Loss.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And that has nothing to do with abortion, Roe versus Wade.
Oh, it has nothing to do with my right to make my own decisions over
That's
my body.
exactly right. That is
All
exactly right.
right.
All
But
right.
it
All
has
right.
to do with pregnancy, and
But
you
it
can't
does.
separate them, because I have a right to decide whether or not I want to be pregnant under certain circumstances.
Somebody asked me that the other day, what the
Yes.
law is in Jamaica? on abortion? What is the law?
I don't think that we have abortion clinics here. And I think if you want to have an abortion, you have to go. That's between you and your doctor. I don't know. We could probably ask a real doctor. But
Yeah,
I think we don't have a law that enables abortion.
but is it illegal?
I don't know. I think in circles it is still spoken of with a hush, so it must be illegal.
Okay.
Because
We
if it
need
was
to,
legal, trust me, would have whole heap of abortion clinic around the place.
well, let,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything legal and all when
oh
it
my God, that doesn't sound right at all, Diana.
no, but it
Wow.
would be a business opportunity that people would want to get into if it was legal. Just like when them legalize the ganja and then all of a sudden you have
Everybody
smoke shops.
smoke shop. Everybody do this, right?
Everybody doing yeah, yeah, yeah.
Openly.
So I really do. I don't think it is legal, but it's a question that I could probably just send to somebody and ask. On the
Okay,
face of it, it's not.
okay. So okay. So we were at the pregnancy. Okay, here's one, and you need to tell me. Am I? Are you seeing me, Diana?
How they know you that in your
Okay,
Adidas
okay, okay.
clothes and your Adidas cap?
All right. So here's one.
Uh-huh.
Spina Bifida Awareness Month. What is that?
Who?
SPINA.
Let me wait. I have to Google that.
Please, yeah, please, and tell us. SPI
Spina, spina
Bifida
bifida, a
Awareness.
congenital defect of the spine in which part of the spine cord and its meninges are exposed through a gap in the backbone. Look like you broke your back.
Oh, okay, got you. All right, so we have to be aware of this.
But hold on, Leo. Them thing that sound like foolishness now. Why would we want to have an awareness of spina bifida? How much people going to have spina bifida? I know something where come on. It seemed far fetched. I like me just get up and say, we're going to have a Diana Davis Awareness Day.
And
I
why
can't
don't we
even
do that? Why don't we
understand
do that? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that? Oh boy. Here's another one. Sudden infant death syndrome.
that. Yes, that is when you put on the baby then bad in the crib.
Oh, but just putting then can just choke when sitting on there too, right?
Yeah, but then would I tell you enough earlier days because you put on the baby bad.
Okay, all right.
Sometimes known as cut death because they
Fair
usually
enough.
these are the deaths, the sudden unexplained death of a child in less than a year of them.
You know the one thing me never like about nappy?
What?
You put me, tell me if you go put nappy on baby, me would probably push the needle in the baby foot.
No, Leo, but you see, they really
That's
no
why
need to put you
because I
because
don't like the nappy
you
thing.
have no nappy, no need for that near no baby foot. The baby leg you mean you call foot.
Our leg.
Okay.
No, thigh, thigh.
I like know which part I put the baby nappy. Oh my gosh.
You remember them big joking thing, that them big sitting there we were pushing at it in the nappy, Oh my God, Jesus and peace.
All right, let me just recognize people who are here. I shared. Did you share the thing that Leo? You need to
Oh,
share it on YouTube because people don't expect you to be on.
it is all over places.
Carlene says, "Good morning, Team Jamaica. Morning, Carlene. Good to have you." She said the week was also Mental Awareness Week. Yes, and I
I'm
really
getting to that. You're so previous. Oh, you're so previous. I'm getting there.
Carlene, she
Yeah.
early, enough.
Jesus.
Dennis Sutherland from Sutherland TV. Sutherland, are you streaming us? Are you restreaming? What is our relationship? He says, "Good morning, all. Morning, good to see you here." Janet Samuel says, "Good morning," because she says, "Good question." Because many women died in the process because of not getting proper attention or help. And I take it that she means that this relates to
Yeah, good.
abortion. But
Yes.
as for me, and faith is up. Oh my gosh. Faith is up. It is not 10 o'clock Jamaican time, and faith is up. I celebrate this. Faith Graham, thanks for joining. Leo, beg you welcome Faith before she fall back asleep.
Yet. Oh. All right, and then there's mental illness awareness month. Me get tongue tied. No, me a lapse. You remember
Yeah.
that, Diana?
Eh?
A long time people um individualize your mistakes, and highlight them. Remember when maybe you're not young enough anyway, because when me at school, anytime anybody go on the rostrum for go speak
Mm-hmm.
and then lapse, the whole school know about it, and you're
And
embarrassed
lapse.
for a whole week. You're embarrassed for a whole week.
So what's a lapse?
You know a lapse. You know a lapse. It
No.
when you mispronounce word, when you misuse word,
Oh, so any mistake they make is a
any mistake
lapse.
they make, it's a lapse, and the whole school laugh at you for the entire week. Embarrassment.
And 10 chance to one them couldn't do kufum, but they did laugh.
Exactly. All right, and then here's another one: Malnutrition Awareness Month.
All right. Well, that we can. So the entire month is malnutrition awareness month. So how do you celebrate all these awarenesses? How would we ideally celebrate malnutrition awareness? I can understand breast cancer awareness. You wear a pin, you wear pink. What is it that we would do for
I think
malnutrition
there is an
awareness?
organization. Generally,
Okay.
there's an organization, Diana, that
Uh-huh.
that they're the ones who put this forward, and then they design strategies and interventions to celebrate the day. But we don't know about it. So,
But it's
so
a whole month. And
it's
we
a
don't know about it.
whole
Then
month,
how we are celebrating? We can't celebrate with them for we don't know about it.
whole a month. So here are the dates, and so October 7th
Uh-huh.
was National Depression Screening Month. Day, sorry, National Depression Screening Day. World Mental Health Day is the 10th. That was yesterday, right?
Yes.
And then World Cerebral Palsy Day on the 6th of October.
Oh, yeah, that gone.
Malnutrition awareness is from October 4th to 8th. So them get 4 days. And that's
Okay.
because of the amount of malnutrient persons across the world in different countries, right? Mental illness awareness 3 to 6, sudden infant. Then I'm not date for that the one there, and then I'm not date for that one. But it's a lot of awarenesses in the month of October.
All right. And I think that we should perhaps pause for a moment, perhaps not in today's show, but plan it sufficiently to recognize one of those and to have somebody come and talk about it. The breast cancer awareness is probably easy. And I think we've done that in the past where we've had persons who have gone through, um, the challenge of it or family members affiliated to them. But like the malnutrition, I'd love for somebody to come and say how we measure up on that malnutrition scale in Jamaica and how are we addressing it? You know?
Yes, I agree, because it has been it has been a problem worldwide for the longest time, and can't seem to be we don't seem to be able to address it as a world,
Mhm.
because people starving in our world now. We're pretty lucky that we live in a place where we can get all of the resources that we want to, whether we or not we can pay for it.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
we can get posh and all kind of situation that we can pay for God.
exactly. I mean, the thing is, we in America, we dash enough food, while
Mm-hmm.
people in some places
Haiti. Haiti.
died for your little dumpling. Them a
Mm-hmm.
died for one little dumpling. You know what I mean? So malnutrition has always been, and I love the SDGs, the United
Oh,
Nations.
no, the sustainable development goals. All of them 17 things there need to be spoken about. Just a quick catch up. Patricia says, good morning, lovely people. Just saying hi, says she's heading to church. Enjoy church, Pat. Say hi to the rest of the family for us. And don't forget to pray for all of us. Hey? Have
Party
a good
Seventh
day.
Day Adventist.
Yes, Patty's 7 Day Adventist.
Okay,
She lives in the States.
okay. Good morning, Patty. Oh, is it Karen Rowe online?
Oh,
Karen!
let's see. Me not see Karen. Where Karen there?
She
Oh,
upon
she's up on the other thing. All
YouTube.
right.
Good morning, Leo and Diane, early birds. Yes.
Hey,
Me
hey,
and actually
hey.
me and the early bird. I had to call Diane about 15 times you have to wake up this morning, okay?
No, let me tell you, say, me not have no chicken I said to me need to go take up egg. Me not have no goat for tie out because I mean me tie them out then thief them. So me not bother have no goat for tie out. When me
Hold
not
on,
up so
hold on.
early,
What goat have egg?
me not have no chicken where set for me collect no egg.
Oh,
One.
okay.
Secondly, me not have no goat for tie out. So
All
me
right.
not see why me need to get up so early.
So Diana,
And plus all of that, me live alone.
so, so,
Well, for now,
so Diana, listen.
this week.
If you have to get up early, right?
Mm.
Listen to this carefully, because that's very important.
Trick question.
If you have to get up early on a Saturday morning to go
Uh-huh.
and check the chicken, most times it's not ready. The egg not ready. Because so let's say breakfast is 8 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
and egg probably ready about 7 o'clock. But if you get up early, you have to go pluck the egg out of the chicken. You have to go take it out.
Leo, me
What?
no need to have no egg no. Me just go in the fridge.
Well, you said something about chicken and egg a while ago. So I say, what grandma teach me was that if you if you get up too early and you have to go check the chicken, you have to go for the egg. Go and take the egg out of the chicken. You never
Well,
did
me
that
not
yet.
get up early, so me not get up early.
You
Me,
never did
look
that
here.
yet, Diana.
Me not have
Obviously,
no
you never did.
chicken to run off a nest, and me
Oh,
not get up early. Me no
obviously,
know
you never.
how that work, but me know me not get up early.
Obviously, you never pluck. You never take a egg out of that chicken yet.
No, me but I've plucked chicken for kill the chicken and pluck it, but me
No.
never had to take no retrieve no egg.
Yeah, Diana. So when you're poor and breakfast is
When you grow up under certain circumstances
when
and
you're poor, when you're poor.
when you grow up under certain conditions and circumstances and you have the privilege of having your own free
Chicken.
range chickens, what
Yeah,
you say?
you go catch it because when chicken before chicken get its egg out, it makes a certain kind of cluck 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 cluck, 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 cluck. And then you say, oh, egg ready. So
Yo,
you
so the
go
chicken I go through the trauma of delivering this egg and uno celebrating it.
and we take it out. We take it out for them. We don't wait until the egg will come out. We go inside and take it out. Anybody know that? Anybody can attest to the fact that grandma teach you how to take out the egg before the egg actually come out.
That almost sound like an abortion, but um, Karen Rose says, "Good morning, Leon Diana. Early bird today." Yes, Karen. Pat says, "Yes, just saying hi, sharing to church." Karen, she laugh. Karen, we laugh both. Um,
Because of the egg.
Juliet says, "Good morning. You guys are very early. Emphasis on early, Miss Juliet." Yes, emphasis on early. Yeah,
Juliet, are you related to Karen Rowe? Can we see to one of the same surname?
and related no because they're in the family of Diana, Michelle, and Leo, so they're related. They were sisters.
So nobody can say whether or not they might ever take an egg out of a chicken. I don't understand this. Whether my people are born,
Has
man.
anyone been so privileged to have their own free range fowls and have had to have fresh, super fresh eggs? Because they don't get no fresher than that.
Yeah. No, here no lick them yet. but
Oh,
but it kind of soft before it come out in the Diana.
oh, yes, me
And
know me do it.
as soon as it hit the ear, boom, it get hard. It get
Solidifies.
hard. Yeah.
Yes,
So if we
yes.
don't know that, me know that.
Sure, go on with yourself, Leo. Juliet said, "Me no know, Mr. Leo. Me no know." She had declared her ad early. She said, "Me no know, Mr. Leo. Me no know."
No, it's not. She's talking about the surname and the egg she talk about.
She don't know nothing about the chicken egg and retrieving no
Listen,
chicken
a
egg from a
country girl
free
that.
range
Just
chicken.
stop it.
And she don't know either if she really, Karen, you
A
relate to
country
Juliet,
girl that.
as you know.
A country she come from. Me know that.
Juliet no come from no country where she had no free range chicken. It's not everybody had the privilege of raising their
Hold
own
on, Diana,
chicken.
you have to tell people what free range mean. You know, free range don't mean you're going to go shoot them. The free
No, free
range mean
range means the chickens are running up and
a
down.
yard chicken. Yes, a
Yeah.
yard chicken,
So
yard
they're in a
fowl.
yard and you decide
Yes,
which one you're going to eat
where get
Sunday
this
and you're
free
running
range?
there.
Where get this free range thing from? A
It is.
yard
This is free range.
yard fowl. Which range? No,
It's either you
yard.
have the chicken where you coop up in a coop and under a whole heap of stress and then grow under those conditions, which is what has been normalized, or you have free range chicken who can go out and
Ooh,
make their own decision that they're not
God.
eating the corn that you give them, them going to eat worms.
Well, what's wrong with worms? Only if a chicken eat worm,
Fine.
I still go cook it. You know, eat the worm, you eat the meat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm.
Hi guys. Morning everybody. All right, so let me check. We don't know which part and which part we know. I think we're on Instagram this morning. Let's see if we see anybody see me on Instagram. Want to see if me see me face on Instagram this morning. No.
Anybody see Leo on Instagram? Tell me
Look,
what o'clock a strike on Instagram.
exactly. All right.
You go check Instagram. May I have Instagram?
Yeah.
May I have Instagram?
Me don't know. I don't even, I don't
So when I
use
go to Instagram, what I look for?
Leo Gilling, I guess. I don't know.
Leo.
And then I am sure that we are on YouTube. Good morning, everybody who's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Good morning, Leo. I know that
Okay.
you let him here. Let me see. Ta-da.
But Leo, me not see nothing. If it under you, me not see nothing for you.
All right, me see the show on YouTube. So that's a good thing. Okay, there you go. All right, and Karen did say good morning, Leo, and she said LOL. And Karen, I have seen my mom taking the egg from the chicken. Me never do it. Oh, see what I talk about? Oh, okay. So it's real. Me not talk foolish.
So Karen Leo, be if you consider that
I
talk suit.
said, where she come from? So yes.
Talk suit, no. um, Janet Summers says, for me, free range and yard chicken is the same. Yes, are the same chicken we run up and down, but it's a fancy name. No, Janet said things move as you get them, change the language. So they run up. First, we used to know them as you fold them. Then
Yeah.
they became free range. Then
Yeah.
they became yard fowl.
Yes. And
Then
then
they became yard chicken. And
yes.
they became
That's
free
a decision.
range chickens. Duh. You had to move
Which generation is Z1 or the N1? Which generation
the one after baby boomers, whatever that is.
All right, so me depend the cusp of baby boomers, and that the one there.
Okay. No.
YRCRN.
Dr. Dianna, I know about the chicken in the yard, yes, scratching and fending for themselves. In Miami-Dade here, there is a black fowl that walks all about.
Jesus
Is
Christ.
a both black fowl because there's a fowl that is a common, not common per se, but I have seen it on my cousin's farm, and it is the prettiest chicken. It just pretty, and it just I don't know. There's just something nice about it.
That's a sense for.
Oh,
That's a sense. But
pretty,
tell me about that black chicken there. That sounds like a junker, Mr. Brown. What's Mr. Brown?
a drunk I call black fowl.
Yeah, because right across Florida, then junker there always their own place. Anywhere where there's a trash bin, they junk. I must that she call fowl.
So what is it? No, Leo, she must know drunker different from a fowl.
And
Not
look
a
alike.
fowl of the air. Fowl with a dung a ground.
And look alike.
Um,
No. In a Florida, then upon the ground. Then
the drunkers?
yes, and then
You call people drunk. You too out about it now.
in Jamaica, then run away from you and then fly
Yes.
away from Florida. You see all 10,
Them
15
come on. Them just a mingle.
Yeah.
Juliet, go look Karen. Whoever see the black Juliet, beg you look again, my dear child, because Leo says, drunk or you're looking at. Um, Karen says that her husband is raw.
Ah,
So it's probably some other relation. Ask the husband. Juliet says she come from St. Elizabeth. I don't know about it. I don't know about it, but she grew in St. Andrew. St. Andrew. Karen said maybe he and Juliet are related. That's how we're settled. Um, she trying to contend that you never pay her to come and come support you. Me not so sure, but I'll take your word for it. But thanks for being here. We review every now and again, but we don't mean no harm. Lord gosh.
oh
You
boy. So
know,
yeah, hope you're not talking about Jankro, okay? So uh, real chicken is family walking behind them. I know the difference. Juliet, Juliet, kill me this morning, killing me. She is killing me.
well, Juliet, any day the family material go about them business, I want to hope you don't know them different.
Oh boy. Yes. Okay, so the topic of discussion this morning, I put it on there this morning. If you notice, oh, come it now fly around. Let me see what it say. It's supposed to fly around, Let me
Leo,
read.
you know, fix up the thing properly. Fix it
I'm
because I
gonna
don't
say,
see no topic for the show.
yeah.
All I see is conversations with Diana, Michelle, and Leo. And as I see you have a little picture cut up in the top here with the whole away plus blacker.
Look what
It's
it says.
running now.
It says,
Uh,
what should be taught in Jamaican schools? Religious education or religious studies?
wow.
You see, the big thing we're going. There was something about religious education in the news, and then there's also somebody at the GC Foster College,
DG. Uh-huh.
who's what name?
I don't know. The
Oh,
principal,
the
I never read it.
principal.
I'm not aware.
Principal insists that these adults um don't wear cane row or cornrow, and them
The
have to.
boys are what?
I don't know who they are, but I read it. I think you ever read the article this morning.
Oh,
I
but I
thought
know
you were gonna read
o'clock
it.
a strike, so let me try to find it.
So
But I
yes,
saw pressing the cleaner not opening for me.
it's not opening for you.
Okay.
And then the JTA president this morning
Eh?
took on the ministry, saying that because earlier this week some pastor group, some um, they call it clergy group, saying that education not inclusive of religious knowledge or religious education, and the pastors are putting themselves up for teaching it in school, and the JTA is pushing back and saying, teachers are teachers, pastors are not teachers. Teachers go to college to train to be teachers, and we need to find people who are ready and willing to teach religious religious studies, not religious education, because religious education tend to focus only on one denomination, while religious studies is across. You learn about inclusive of Rastafarian. Right? So there's a difference there. So I don't know. When me go to school, the only thing they may teach me is religious knowledge, and you just learn about the Bible. So the JTA is pushing back against that and say it's not about
Let me read
religious.
against that background. Let me read it. The
Yes,
article, which is in today's paper, where
yes,
it is titled Smith, who is the JTA president, invest in more teachers, not pastors.
right.
JTA president criticizes proposal for clergymen to fill in as religious educators. Dr. Mark Smith, president of the JTA, has criticized the suggestion to have pastors fill the shortage of religious educators in schools, describing it as a suboptimal and quick fix measure. While acknowledging that some clergymen possesses competencies in delivering instructions, Smith told the Gleaner that using them to fill classroom vacancies is not an ideal solution. What in essence it does is provide a physical body, a person knowledgeable on biblical matters. But religious education is so much more than that, he stated. He says, teaching is as much an art as it is a science. It's not just about understanding the content.
Actually, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
He continues by saying, the article continues by saying that Reverend Newton Dixon, the General Secretary of the Jamaica Council of Churches, recently told the Gleaner that the organization is prepared to address the teacher shortage by having ministers of religion teach classes emphasizing the importance of religious studies for students' psychological development.
Mm.
However, Smith argues that a more coordinated effort by the Ministry of Education is needed to showcase the value of teachers and address the ongoing issue of teacher shortages. I don't think we have to go no further. What do you think?
But I want to hear what people think, though. Do you want your students, your children, to learn about the Bible, which is what the pastor or the clergy is going to come in and teach, or do you want them to learn in school a broader knowledge about Buddhism, Islam, about Rastafarian, and all of the other religions across the world, Hinduism and so forth, because that's what the Dr. Mark Smith is proposing, that religion is I mean, not sorry, but religious studies is not about biblical studies. It's rather about a broader perspective, and teachers, they need scientists, teachers who teach in that art to teach it rather than pastors.
Ah, religious between. So which one is religious studies?
So the religious studies is the study of many types of religions and other forms
All
of,
right.
yeah.
Let
And
me
then
let me read this. It says the main difference between religious studies and is their purpose.
mhm,
So, religious studies is a scientific study of religion that
mhm.
focuses on how religion has impacted humanity's perception of life, death, and everything. Religious education is a is subject that aims to develop someone's understanding of the world's religions. So, is Mark advocating for religious education rather than religious studies?
I think what he's proposing, he's saying that what I gather is that he doesn't want um, the religious education to be about the Bible. It should be on a broader principle, because because teaching is an art, and it's scientific also, and so therefore he wants the students to learn about other. I mean, it's interesting to learn about, for example, whether there is a God or there is no God. It's interesting to see the different perspectives. It's interesting to see if is Hinduism the correct religion, or Muslim is, or Islam, or that kind of thing. It's interesting to learn these things. But what he's
Mhm.
saying is that if we put clergymen in Jamaica in the classrooms, then they're going to teach you about the Bible. And the Bible is not the only religion out there. It's not the only representation of a religion out there, rather just one. And that's what he's saying. And so it
Mhm.
needs to be more than someone coming to tell you about, God or Jesus or whatever, but rather somebody who can teach you about how other people in the world see things.
Um, I I want to agree with the JTA president on the matter of not flooding the halls of schools with just any person who has an expertise in an area that needs to be studied.
Mhm.
So, if we need to talk about human and social biology, the solution can't be that we just simply get nurses to come in and teach
Right.
the subject,
Mhm.
um, because the art of instruction is something that people need to learn. instruction for learning. Teaching and learning is a art, is a science, and people who are going to seek to impart knowledge for persons to learn must go through a sound enough understanding of it. So I agree with Mark
That's
that
one of the perspectives that he's saying. Yes, agree,
yes, I
agree.
agree with him that you just simply can't take. The next thing you go take all of the doctor them no bother with the surgery them they teach class. And what happens to the profession of teaching? So then what happens to the profession? We're already lamenting the departure of our experts from the space. Are we watering it down to an irrelevance because everybody and anybody can do it? Is that the intention? And I'm sure that's not a deliberate intention.
And
Um,
and then let me tell you this. One of the moves that I saw the ministry made recently, when it started to put teachers at the early childhood level, that's such a big deal because not that we can't learn from persons who are not college grads, meaning
Pain.
who've
Mhm,
been there and learned how to deliver the instructions
mhm,
and so forth. But what if you can get the best to teach our someone who's scientifically gone through these
mhm.
things and learn how to deliver it and how to change behavior and how to change students learning and so forth, why not do that? Because that's an important way of how we need to get our education. We need to get the best of the best of the best. And so I like the move about adopting the early childhood commission, the early childhood education as a part of the broader education perspective. That's a big thing. It's not enough yet. I think they only have like 400 teachers or something like that. That's not enough. We need to have entire the entire space of early childhood be covered by trained teachers. And so I I think that's where we are. That's what he's talking about. Has to be trained.
Um, well, I support you on it, but not to minimize the persons who have long taught at the foundation without the training and who have impacted. But certainly, if you're going to build a house, you're going to start with the best experts from the foundation.
Yes.
Especially if it's a high rise you're going to build or something that you hope to live in. If
Yeah.
it's a chicken coop, even that you need for the free
Hey, you
range.
better have a good place where
the,
the egg then
foundation.
can come out. The egg then can come out and
And the
safe,
egg
right?
then can come out safely.
Yeah.
Let me just catch up with some more comments. Good morning, Paulette says, "Good morning, folks. You are on early this morning. Long story, Miss Paulette. You wake me up early, like me have fall figure catch." Lawton says, "Good morning, Dr. Dan and Dr. Leo. Blessings to everyone." Lawton, it is so good to see you here this
A long
morning.
time in the land, you know.
Yes, and let me tell you, Lawton celebrating must be 40 something years of marriage. Let
Oh,
me
they
tell
were
you, it
excellent.
is wonderful. Lawton, congratulations. Please convey our best
Happy
wishes.
anniversary.
Yes. So Lawton, we're happy. We start a little early today because they are dopey take him and he decided to say he might come on early this morning.
Yes. And that's
Sometimes
because
I will have to stop and go
Xavier,
get
Xavier,
drink.
Xavier Murphy coming on later on. And I'm going to take up whole heap of his space. So I say, I could come on a
Ah,
little bit early so that's enough to take up the whole of his space. All right? Because
all
Xavier,
right. I
Jesus.
hope him listening and sharing. Lorraine Donkey says, "Morning, blessings." Lorraine, morning. Good to see you. How is Mr. Hay himself? Jean Whelan say, "Hey guys, long time." She no spell so good because she spell long LSNG, but through me good in my schoolwork. My foundation was good. She says, "Good morning, everyone." Paulette says, "In Jamaica, if Jamaica says it's a Christian nation, they should be teaching about the Bible. However, children should also learn about the other religions that are in the world." And Jose de la Cruz says, "Hola, family." And we're
Hola,
saying back at you, Jose.
hola, hola.
Hey, but when you see what o'clock a strike in Martinique, the people them in a Martinique get up and them well vexed, and may I tell you, protest left, right, and center. They all have a lock airport the other day. I think them
What am I protest about?
conditions, high cost of living.
Oh.
Mm.
You sure you want to touch that?
No. But just to mention and to say to our friends and colleagues down in there that, we're mindful, we're praying for you, and we trust that everything will work out. Lawton says, "Thank you, my friends. Good to be here. Better to have you
What?
too."
So I want to spend some time on the long distance marriage. Hey, to live with one person for how much 40 odd years? Lord have mercy.
Yes.
So it's such a nice thing, but it don't seem hard. It don't seem hard to you.
Yes.
But the good thing is that they're friends.
Yes.
There's no better friend than the person you got with like that. No better friend.
But what are the real challenges of a marriage?
Diana, you really want to take that there because me have woolly pin up.
What? You had a whole marriage or a whole challenge?
There is a reason why one person would get married for 5 times or 4 times. Think about
Because
it.
you need change.
Well, that yeah, well, you want a new car
But
every
Lawton, let's ask Lawton. Lawton, and we can ask Lorraine as well because she's been in the relationship. And where is Smith? What's her name? Smith don't come here.
how come you not recognize Gene Wignall?
Yes, then Jean say hey, and she's long time
Oh,
she not
shall
there.
listen. Shall listen.
Um,
All right, all right.
what is the one or two things that you would identify that has kept your relationship going? Patience. We think I must say patience.
Patience.
Patience,
That's
Leo.
one. Okay, so yeah, when me used to grow up, me used to get kicked out of the house every morning, every Saturday morning, or you know, and I'm more sleeping late,
Mm.
right? So me suspect say when you want to sleep in Saturday morning and the wife want clean the house, I be
Mm.
nice, you want to sleep in.
Mm.
That's a problem to me.
Mm.
Then you're not listening to me now. You did that read somebody else's words instead. You know hear a thing when
Yeah,
me say.
but
You
you
know
say
hear a
when
thing
you
when me
want
say.
sleeping, you want to sleep, but you want to clean the house. So you have to come out of the house because you want to clean the house.
What are they? Michelle just pinged me a while ago, but me not see her on.
So you have to send her the link.
Now she have the link.
Send it to
Oh,
again.
Joseph Small say he's listening to us. Good morning, Joseph. He's listening to Diaspora Live. Oh, and me, my top about. Oh, Lord of mercy. I thought he was listening to the show. I think I did a podcast this week on the matter of what was it again? I did a podcast on the matter of combining the the two holidays in August,
Mm.
Emancipation Day and Independence Day. So I did a podcast making a whole heap of noise, and it got played this week on nationwide, and then it's being played now on on we call it again Power 106.
Okay.
So that's what it is. But you did you hear about that? Did we talk about this last week?
Mm-mm.
Where the PSOJ.
Yes, we talk about it where the PSOJ was wanting to roll it out and give a long holiday and disrespect with holiday.
Yeah, I'm disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
that was it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there's some messages that you need to
Yeah, Joan says, "No man, doctor, how you load up my spelling such? Man, typo error." Where's the other friend? It's Michelle. Michelle going come on. Leo have us on early. But Michelle should be here now. It's 10 o'clock. So Michelle should be on now. Leo wake me up and tell me try hard for turn down the phone and turn off it and box with the phone. But we came on earlier because just want to have a little bit more reach.
yes.
Nice, my friend Leo Medea, she says. Lawton says, trying to understand each other, not separating duties in the. Oh, these are Lawton's principles that has kept his marriage. Trying to understand, trying, I'm still it's suggesting Lawton, trying to understand each other. Lawton, is your wife with you? I'd love to hear her input. Trying to understand each other, not separating duties in the home, patience, and bottom line and everything is God.
So what when you want to sleep on a Saturday morning time, Latin, what happened? and she want clean.
Then she not clean the house. Oh, you know, really mean sleep. Oh. Ah, Elia, you never pinch me.
Lawton says, agree.
Lorraine agrees with what Lawton says.
Oh,
That's
okay,
the
okay. No,
relationship.
I really believe that some of the things that will be issues in marriage is trust. Trust of a person's word.
Trust.
Trust. And
Okay.
and trust goes, say we start giving suggestions where there was no problem when do open the door to teach other religions. We do understand and realize someone will really ever. That's all right. I mean, you have to learn that's the devil has something to do with Christianity, and so I mean,
Um,
it's just one of
Sharon,
those.
Sharon raised an interesting point, but I think that what we're suggesting is an awareness, is not an inculcation of, but that whatever studies should bring an awareness of the different practices worldwide, so people can understand. They don't. We're not living in a silo. Everywhere they go, they're not only going to be among Roman Catholics or Adventists or generally Christian people. They're going to face with others, and they need to have a reasonable understanding and appreciation of the diversities within our world in order for
Well,
them to be real citizens. So Sharon, I agree with you that yes, we start giving suggestions where there are no problems, but the contemplation what to teach, and we're saying, well, give an exposure to it, but we're not advancing the other practices, because yes, we're a Christian nation. I hope that speaks to that. But so Leo, I want know that I understand what you meant by sleeping. So
I did
you're
not mean anything other than what I said, Diana. Do not take my words outside of no thing and go bring no sex in there.
well, me not
I wasn't
understand
nothing
it,
about
because
sex.
I'm beginning to figure that you mean that on a Saturday you want to sleep. But I'm saying to myself, but if she want to tidy the house and you sleeping in the bedroom, then all she have to do
And
is
that's where they
tidy
start.
the bedroom another day.
That's where they
Another,
start. They start.
or make
That's all.
you tidy the bedroom, as Lawton says, there is no separation of duty. So you tidy it whenever you choose to get up, tidy it. How about that?
Anyway, so
Where
me not get into it today because me not think you understand kind of man. Okay, all right,
all right, well, probably not.
yeah.
Have a point. Even with me, I'm people them too long. So yeah. But
No,
if you want to sleep in the place, want tidy and me a tidy house now, and you want get up,
and
then
here we. It's not like them. I use this even the damn what call it
well,
again?
you vacuum cleaner.
Coconut brush.
Well,
Yeah,
hopefully everything will disturb and I get up and go out in the business, or go do cut the lawn and trim the flowers, or tidy the kitchen, or make breakfast.
but I do think come off of that topic no man. We are talking about the marriage thing now and how what caused the problems in the marriage, right? So I was thinking about the the single most important thing in a marriage is the trust factor. And
Trust.
trust
Yes.
is not just one sided where just because
All right. But I want to ask you, what is trust?
trust
Because what is trust?
trust is when two people identify each other as their partners and they can be honest with the plans that they make. They both know it, what they talk about even in bed when they go to bed at night time. You have something that's bothering you that you can say it with the person and there's no repercussions by. So whatever it is that you want to say to the person, it's okay to say it, and the other person can have the same right to say the same thing, and that's trust. You can say anything you want to each other without any, what the word I'm looking for, without being judged, because once you are judging the other person, it means that somebody don't trust somebody. you understand?
All right.
So
No, me not sure me understand Leo, so me I go
yeah,
say, oh, me hear it.
yeah,
So you are saying to me that trust is like I am married to Joe.
yeah.
I see Michael out there, and I really think I like Michael away, and I can trust Michael. I can trust Joe enough that when I'm in bed and I say, "Boy, I saw Michael today," and boy, may I tell you, the boy body look good, and him clearly been doing so and so and so. And let me tell you, him could have parked him shoes on my bed any night,
Yeah.
and Joe don't feel no
And
way.
you can say that to him, and it's okay. That
Okay,
absolutely right. That's what I'm saying.
that's all
Yeah, let's
I.
get there. Yeah.
So me want to know how much man out there comfortable with that the notion. Would you be comfortable with me coming in and even pushing me?
Just by virtue of you asking that question, Diane,
Yes.
there's no trust.
There's no trust because me I ask it.
Because you're asking the question, there the
Then
trust
how
has
me I
got
gonna
to
know said all right for tell you if me not ask?
because of the development of the relation over time, and it
Then me
can
go
be a
wait till
short.
after 10 years of marriage because me can't tell you before me say me did want to sleep with Michael.
Yeah, you can. You should be able to tell him. You should be able to tell him that. I
Me
mean,
have to wait 10 years of trusting before me can tell him that.
no, 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 no. I'm saying it. Trust can start immediately,
Okay.
and it can develop, and it can also develop over time. It all
Mm-hmm.
depends on the two people. But if you value your relationship as much
Mm-hmm.
as both of you should,
Yes.
the first ingredient in making sure that it works is the trust. Because if
Trust.
you if you yeah if you speak, it should not be that I'm there thinking
Uh-huh.
lying ras. Oops.
Ah, like Judas. Like Judas. Today, my stop said, good morning. Hope all is well with Michelle. Leo, beg you send a message to Leo, to Michelle, make she come on. No? See if she in the back room. Lauren
Okay.
says, replying to Lawton, she agrees with what Lawton Wilson says about a marriage and the premise for it. Polly Chambers are dead with laugh. Sharon Page says, okay, we did that. And Sylvia Parker is replying to Lawton and says, these are facts. Lawton says, we started life basically with nothing. And over the years, we've worked together and we don't separate money. We don't separate money, your money, my money, my money, my money. No, he says, my money, your money. But Lawton, your money is my money and my money is my money. Um,
you see, these things are very important to know
yes,
because people. Okay, there's a major difference between
money.
your money is your money and my money is my money, or
No, your money is my money.
yeah, 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 yeah. But if I'm
Yes,
looking at the different scenarios, your
yes.
money is your money, my money is my money, or both money is our money, right?
Hmm.
Or your money is your money and your money is my money. It's
No, man.
so much different. So we
All
have to
right. So
agree.
perhaps it's indicative of little trust because I should really be saying that our money is our money.
Yes,
Period.
yes,
Um,
yes. No, but
Jean
no, no,
said,
no, no. It could be that. It could be that your money is your money and my money is my money. It could be that
no.
too. No, it
Yeah.
could be if you have an understanding up front
Yes.
that says, okay, we have these bills, but I just want to spend mine. I want to feel like I'm working for a reason.
Uh-huh.
But then our bills must be taken care of, and I'll save mine and you save mine. When we have something big, we come together and purchase that. I think that is fine too. But it can't be that your money are your money and your money are also my money. It can't. It can't be that. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. Jean says, and it's going back a little bit. So we still need to talk about the money issue. Jean goes back and says we need teachers of different cultures so they can share their religion. Lauren Shedine, Michael Tomlinson is here too. Oh my gosh.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Michael.
folks.
And
Um,
Lauren Dunkley. Good morning.
Karen says respect, also Leo, respect. Um,
Great.
Chris Thomas says she shouldn't even ask that question. What
Thank you, Chris.
question?
Thank
What
you.
question? The
One
question.
of me say, one of me say, if you have to ask that question, then
Okay.
trust that exists. That's
All
what.
right. Fine.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Chris. Yeah, good girl.
Chris Thomas.
Chris, Chris is a male
Chris
or female?
Chris Theco Thomas. I don't know.
tell me if you're male or female so I can address you the right way, okay?
All right, Chris,
Sorry about that.
identify up.
Sorry about that, Chris.
We don't say Chris.
Yes. Yeah, I got into trouble on one of my shows one time. For months and months in my mind, her name is
Chris
Chris.
is a guy. Uh-huh.
Hey, okay. And this lady was Chris, and I was calling her Chris like she was a man,
Uh-huh.
addressing her. And one day she said, Leo, I'm a lady.
Ah.
I was so embarrassed,
It's what it is.
make those
But
mistakes.
when you know, you know. When you don't know, you don't know.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chris.
Come on. Um, so, so
So what
money,
yeah, we're talking about
trust,
yes, yes.
respect.
Respect. Those three things. So what on it? The money not important though, no. If you talk to Lawton, Lawton will tell you that he started without anything.
He said that. He said that we basically, and I'll read it. Lawton says in the space that they started with nothing, um, and we started life basically with nothing. And over the years, we've worked together and we don't separate money. Ouch. Your money, my money, your money. Lord, let me tell you. Lord, let me tell you. Locks. Do you think then, Leo, that it is easier when people start early in a marriage together and when they start with nothing rather than when they come to the table or when they later on in life get married and everybody come with their own things? That is where the challenge, that is when we have challenges and issues.
Yeah, it's a
All
good
right, the
question.
preaching.
It's a good question, but I am for having my children early, right? I'm for that because I've experienced that. I had my first child when I was
For
21,
sure.
right? Huh? So but marriage is a very, very serious thing. And I don't know that I would have wanted to get married until about 35 because it takes a lot of maturity to be able to understand that what you said to me wasn't something that you wanted to hurt my feelings, but you really wanted to express yourself. Totally
Mhm.
different, right? And just
Mhm.
as an example, and it take a long time to understand that you can get mad at me, right?
Mhm.
And then it's just temporary, right?
Mhm.
Because when you get vexed with me just vex for the rest of your life. Me gone vex, right?
Mhm.
Because me think say, that's how me grow up. Where when you're getting a fight, you're just malice, right?
Mhm.
But it takes big people maturity to get to the point where you understand the other person and so that's why I say I wouldn't want to be if I had another life. I don't want to be married until I'm 35 or so, where I understand relationships, friendships, how to get because it was that time that I started that my blessings started to come to me when I was about 35. As a young man, you don't get that at all. So what are you are dysfunctional with family values.
All right, hold on. Let me go back. Chris Thomas says that he's male with the option to change in America. Chris has a great sense of humor. I like you for that.
Oh,
Colin says
Chris, you
sometimes
can stay on the show anytime.
Chris has a great sense of humor and reasonable. Barry Boyd said you are dysfunctional with family values. You want to explain that for us, Barry? Not sure we're following you. What is, rather than point at individuals, point at the issue. So tell us, what is the issue that is dysfunctional? What is the family value that you find to be dysfunctional?
Paul said something there.
Says sometimes you start together with nothing, and when you get something,
They leave
they
you.
leave you for
True.
so-called greener pastures.
Yeah, because you never understand each other in the first place. You know what I mean? Yeah, I totally agree with that.
No, but I don't back up. You
Can
never understood, but it's not my fault. I worked hard as we agreed that we're going to do. I contributed to the household and stuff, and then he moves on to greener pastures.
Why don't you say and he works hard and then she moves on. Why is it got to be
All
the
right,
girl
and
and the
so,
woman?
so they work hard, and then
Yeah,
one of them moves on to
thank
supposedly
you.
greener pastures.
Thank you.
Who you going to blame at that point in time?
You can't blame anybody because you don't know where the problem started. Because it's not just about what just took place, but rather some other deeper issues that's been going on for a long time, right?
Mhm.
It has nothing to do with me because I've known people who got married early, 18, 19, and by the time they got to 32, the man say, hey, I'm tired of you. You know, match me. You know, you can't match my skills because he got to college and she didn't
Mhm.
go to college, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden did this. So, but to me, that has nothing. His decision has nothing to do with her not having the skills, but rather other deeper issues that's been going on in the marriage for a long time.
Mhm.
You understand?
Okay. Barry is explaining. He says that he's whoever grew up without being taught about building a family and relationships. And Barry, I don't know that despite growing up in a household that is perhaps single parent, that you don't understand the structure, the ideal structure of family, and nor are you deprived of understanding relationships. I, to the manner born, is not a decider for who you become.
But he
So,
has a point, though, Diana.
huh?
He has a point
Yeah,
because you didn't grow inside of that. Inside of it takes you a longer time to get to understand what
but
family
it don't say that I don't understand it, because I didn't grow up in a household where there was a father figure. Don't mean that I don't understand what it is to have this kind of relationship, or what the ideal relationship is to be, or what it is to be family. How I build
sometimes.
a family.
Sometimes, even though we know, we don't act it. So we have the knowledge, we have the experience in it, or the lack of experience. But whatever we know, sometimes we didn't get a chance to become emotionally literate. And because we're not emotionally literate, our emotion takes control of what our decisions are and our actions. And so we're not able to maintain what we know because it wasn't practiced. It's just a knowledge base. Do you understand what
Yes,
I'm saying?
but it don't
Yeah.
mean that you can't be successful because you only have theory and you don't have the
Oh,
practical
no, no,
aspect.
no. We're not saying that you're not successful. We're
Oh,
saying it's
okay.
harder. He's saying that it was harder for him to get to understand what the family value and the family relationship is about. That's a tough one.
Paulette says that is not her experience, and Paulette, mean that is not my experience either. But we can talk about it. Hold on, let me say. I think it's Jackie. Jackie, where you want change from your Brunswick church and put your name? She says, "Good morning. I just can't find you guys." Leo, I tried to tell you that you need to share the thing in a way so people get noticed. If you don't understand how to do it, call somebody other than me who
So what
understands.
about you? What about you? You can't tell
I
me.
put a disclaimer. I don't know how. I said, we're still working on it. We're trying to work it. Barry says that he got married at 23 years old, and he's still married. How long is that? Are you 40? Grew up
Sis-
in the church. He says he grew up in the church.
Okay.
Michael Lecky. Hey, Michael, welcome. He says, what is a fundamental issue is that you have two persons coming together with different backgrounds trying to exist in a single space. Michael, may I agree with you? That's a big ask.
Absolutely.
That's a Michael, and Michael Lecky is the former president of the Small Business Association of Jamaica. Michael, thanks for being here. You must come on the show one day and talk about small business and the challenges for Jamaica. And
I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear that too. But he's absolutely right.
yes,
When you
yes,
put two people together, it's
yes.
I don't care how much knowledge you have. I
Mhm.
don't care how much experience you have as an individual. When you put two people together, remember now that a brother and sister in the same space have a hard time getting along. So putting two people who never had that, had that together, it's going to be tough. It can be tough, I should say, rather.
Yes.
Right? it's going to be tough.
Whoa. Michael Thompson says the fundamental issue is you have two persons coming together with different backgrounds trying to exist in single space.
Yes.
Barry says that he's been married for 32 years, and that it affects children. Lauren says 32 years, and she's sharing with Barry that she too has been married for 32 years. Claudette Allen Mitchell says you have to learn to compromise. Compromise. May I write it down, you know?
Look,
Next time
listen.
round, me I have to go get this marriage thing right.
Michelle, I think
Compromise.
Michelle in the house. What are they? 11,
Michelle come.
no, she said she coming on
She
11. I
said
think
that she was having a problem with our charging thing. She thought that our tablet was charging.
oh,
Uh,
okay. Okay. We miss you,
Let me
Michelle.
put
We miss
some
you.
more. Lauren says to Chris, she laugh with Chris and says with the option to change. Don Hall says, can one party outgrow another? Can failure to grow together produce incompatibility? Interesting question.
First
Don,
of all, this morning is Don Hall's wife's birthday.
Don
Your
Hall,
name is
why
Shirley.
birthday? And
Yeah,
him a
your
come
name
talk
is
about incompatibility, you
Make
know?
the man stay. Happy birthday, Shirley.
Right, me Shirley, happy birthday. You better send cake. I hope them live in Jamaica or we can get cake. Um, says Lorraine and thing and says failure to but outgrowing each other, incompatibility eventually, not at the start, but is that incompatibility done what Paulette talks about when she says that they move on to greener pastures when they
But
reach
they were okay. Okay, so marriage also having to do with a lot of what they call tolerance, right? So some people can be married for a long time and then cuss every day. They
mm-hmm,
cuss and quarrel every day, but then now get divorced and
mm-hmm,
get together, right?
mm-hmm,
While other people, if the cussing start, then run.
mm-hmm.
And so you have to look at your tolerance of how is it that you can live for 50 years together with somebody and be be tolerant
Mhm,
or,
mhm,
or being in a relationship where because if you grow up in a relationship with your mom and dad and sisters and there's always quarrels in the house,
mhm,
then you're going to think that that is a normal natural thing. And if
mhm.
two people get together and they're from the same type of community, there's a likelihood that they're going to be together for a long time, quarreling every day, and it's a normal, natural thing. They probably have a stroke later on, but it's a normal, natural
Yo,
thing.
Steve Michelle is in the background. Steve Michelle is
Michelle
in the
is? Yes, I
is in
think she is. Yes, yes. But yeah, but she tell me say she come on 11 o'clock. At just 10:26.
then no 11 o'clock, no?
No, I wasn't coming on 11. I was gonna come on early, but because of
Michelle,
the
you have to say
hurricane.
first have to say good morning. You can't
Oh,
just come
good
before
morning,
the show
everybody.
and
Good
start
morning,
twisting.
everybody.
What the
Good
hell?
morning, everybody.
What is
No,
this?
they
Good
just open
morning.
first. So lower, no? Lower, man. Sure.
Yeah, but the thing is that because I don't
Michelle,
really access most of my house, it look like since the hurricane, a section of my house no have no like a breaker.
the
I think
internet.
yeah, the breaker maybe hit up because but like I don't have
Oh, say
electricity
them no
in
power
certain
in
part.
there.
Yeah,
So
like the
Michelle,
living
all
room
you have to
and
do is
stuff.
go to the breaker box and flip them off and flip them back on.
Yeah, I will. I will later on. So I was trying to figure out like what's going on, like why nothing charging.
So we just
And
have
I
to
just
pause for a minute to say that Michelle went through Hurricane Milton. She survived well. She lost a few branches and stuff. But she had
mhm.
prepared for it. She had
Again,
food. She had
no
her.
food.
I mean, lost Michelle. She had prepared for it. But so Michelle, we're really happy that you're
People,
on. We're happy that Michelle
Michelle,
impacted.
the day before hurricane, Michelle wrote to us and said she don't have no food, she don't have no gas, she don't have nothing in her house. So I said, what are they? Hurricane a come or what? Hurricane a come or what?
Yeah.
Because
But
generally,
Florida people.
when,
And you guys did send a list of stuff to do. And
I
I'm gonna
did,
be
We
honest,
did
I
none
know,
of them.
I did nothing. I'm Florida people. We're not really taking that
Oh my
serious.
gosh. Michelle did nothing. We're like, no, Michelle, you need to get water. You need to make sure you have extra water for drinking because when the water go and
Nothing.
come back, you can't drink it. Michelle just say yes to it, nice and good, and then she
Did
don't do it.
nothing. But you know what happened was so funny? It was in the night, like when the hurricane hit. Like it never hit
Mhm.
us directly, thank God. But I keep hearing like the banging and like I feel like the roof will rip off and the side in the. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Maybe I should have done.
Oh my gosh.
Let me take
It's
some
Diana,
like,
messages before. Let me just read up all the things that
yes.
have been said. Um, can one party grow outgrow? That was Don Hall. Chris says you got your first child at 21. You didn't have your first child, Michael. Well, we hope so. Yes, that's true, Michael. Michael Barry suggests that slavery is the main reasons Jamaicans don't embrace marriage. That's a totally different conversation,
What?
boy.
Oh my God,
I don't even
Barry.
see the
Getting
correlation, Barry,
married,
with
come
that
here,
one.
friend. I have trouble to pass
Yes.
this morning. Yeah.
But Barry, I'm making a mental note because I'd love to have your conversation on that. Replying to Don Hall, most definitely says Chris. Michael Tomlin says money is usually the common denominator that decides the success or failure of a marriage, says Mike Tomlinson. Paula says happy birthday to Don's wife. Paulette says sometimes there's no cursing, but passive aggressive behavior that eventually has its breaking point. We're talking about marriage, Michelle, and the fact that, what makes it work, what makes it fail. It had been suggested that trust and money and compromise are some of the issues that around which the marriage revolves or around which the marriage fails. And
Respect.
Paulette is adding sometimes there is no cursing but the passive aggressive behavior.
That is rough.
um,
That is absolutely tough.
Jean says, hey Michelle. Barry says Jamaicans have a low marriage rate because of Barry, but we're going to hear what him said, because of slavery and not being taught about proper marriage. I wasn't in slavery. That's why Jamaicans have so many single parents, ignorance of marriage and relationships. All right, you need to come
Well,
open up.
that's only if you believe that marriage is the right place to be, Barry.
If you're not married, then you're nothing.
Yeah,
Is what he's suggesting. Good
right.
morning, Michelle
Yeah,
says.
yeah.
That's all. Like if you don't have no children, you're nothing. Um, Paulette says, "Good morning, Michelle. Everybody is hailing you up. They're happy to see you." Jackie from Brunswick Church says hello. Lorraine Hay is giving thanks. Lorraine says, "Glad all is well, Michelle, following the hurricane experience." Lorraine, Juliet is here. Juliet says, "Good morning, Michelle." Oh, she was here earlier. She says, "Lovely to see you. Glad you made it through the
I
hurricane,
don't
Milton.
remember hearing all of these
Don't need
nice
any
things.
more."
Okay, when me and Diana come on this morning, they were there. Me and you nobody has said, "Oh, lovely to see you. Oh, you look nice." Me never hear nobody has said that this morning. Why? As Michelle come on the show, that everybody will give her,
the
these
Because
things.
missing
it's about the
ingredients.
hurricane, and she's special,
Oh,
and
I'm sorry for her. Okay.
people wanted to know that she's okay, and know that they know that you're okay. It's a marriage. All of us in this marriage together, and they're celebrating her. Oh, Michelle, we had a session in the marriage where, because of trust, it's okay for me to go and say to my husband, "Boy, I saw this other man, and boy, I'm just totally fabulous. Boy, I could have really, really,
Yeah.
and no pain, no issue in the marriage with my
Be
sharing that
good.
information." You
That'd
want
be
to
good.
know? Chris says, I woke up one morning after 25 years of marriage, and poof, the wife was gone.
Hold on,
Thought it was a rapture.
hold on. Gone is a very relative and subjective word. Did she die? Did she find another man? Did she just get up and walk
Make
out?
Chris go sit
What,
down.
what,
Make
what,
Chris a tell lie, but he said, make him go sit down. Chris, you're wicked. You're wicked, bad.
oh, it's like when you show the name with the witch, bewitched. It's like
Bewitched.
it's like
Oh, bewitched.
clip, poof, and wife
Poof.
That's funny.
All right. Juliet says, I did, Mr. Leo. You're something else, according to Juliet. Jackie says, you guys started early today. Yes, Jackie, we started early because Leo had a vision that he wanted to start at one
Nice.
hour earlier and go 3 hours.
Yep.
And then him try wake up Michelle. Michelle wasn't having it, I suppose. Him try wake me up too, and eventually me relent and say, all right, fine. So I'm here. Leo, don't be jealous. You look lovely, says Paulette.
Thank you, P.
Um, Whoa, Lorraine Hayes says about what Theok says about poof and
I'm poofing white God. I've never seen. I've not seen. Who's that again? Who said the poof? What's his name?
no, no, Cho, Chris,
Uh, Chris.
Chris Thomas.
Has Chris been here?
Yeah, Chris is the
I,
first
I,
time I've been
I'm not
talking, but
seeing.
he
Yeah,
probably been
okay,
here
good.
before.
Are you related to the other Thomas? There's another Thomas online. I have to
Um,
ask them question. Okay? The thing is, a lot of people are related and they don't know. So
mm.
I'm just asking the question. There's another Thomas on here, but I don't remember who it was. All right. Yeah, but marriage is a very whether or not you believe that marriage is the right thing. Is it the right thing to do? Were we meant to be married, or is just a man-made thing?
But what is marriage? Marriage do I have to stay, just have one partner in marriage and
No. Because when we're that Africa, we can get all 3, 6, 7, 10, all of them thing there.
can a wife have many husbands?
Well, that not stated anywhere in the book or anywhere in
Well,
the
in
world.
some countries in
No
Africa they
country
do
don't
though.
allow. I want to have multiple husbands. Is there
Yeah, in
anywhere?
Africa they allow it. Some countries in Africa allow
Ooh,
it.
No African country not allow that. The African
Let me
country
tell
allow
you.
the way around. The other way
Michelle,
around.
tell me, my
Man
dear.
have
Tell
7
me.
Hold
wives.
on. I keep
Say,
talking. I'll look it
tell
up.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, man have 7 wife or 10 wife. That kind of thing. Can you
I
imagine?
want to know where I can have multiple husbands.
Can you imagine one wife for one task? And
But they have a show on TV right now with one lady
Yes.
having multiple on TLC.
well, that they're just turning it around. Today's people, them kind of different and kind of mess up
Right.
everything.
What's it?
So
What's it? Well, I want to be on the show.
it's
Um, Claudette says, did Chris ignore all the warnings? Was it denial? Something was there, man. It just couldn't be poof all of a sudden. No, sir. Claudette has
Oh,
said, no.
Tibet.
Oh,
Okay,
that's not
Tibet.
Africa.
Tibet?
They're not,
Right.
That's a one country. Tibet
Tibet.
is considered a prominent example.
what is
Ooh,
it? White said. Tell me why it said that,
up it,
Michelle.
up it, list for me. I can have multiple
They
husbands
say
there.
it is considered the most prominent example where polyandry was
Oh, that's
practiced
polyamory. That's
with
different.
some.
That's polyamory. That's totally different. That's not where the wife have that. It could be any mixture of people having.
Yeah, that
Wife.
is said.
Yeah,
It is
but
for women to legally have multiple husbands.
yeah,
Yeah, but
Polyandry.
it could be
those
wife. It could be husband. Polyamory is totally different from that the African principle where man take care of things.
they are,
Polyamory is you choose to have several persons in your marriage. No matter if
yes,
you're a man or
Then
a
look at
woman.
the point when they say,
yes.
No,
I
no.
want to go to Tibet. Where else?
Practice.
Where else?
in Nigeria and
Like a
South
rule.
Africa,
Uh-huh.
Nigeria and South Africa allows it.
All right. Me no need more than three. Me I go to Tibet.
No, go Africa, go Nigeria.
No, no.
Malaysia, Philippines, and Singapore,
Singapore.
Solomon
I love
Islands,
Singapore.
What did you look up? Because
are
I've never
countries that
heard of
allow women to have multiple husbands. That
I
was my
love
point.
Singapore. Fabulous. Case closed. Been there, done that. On my way. Looking at
me
work.
not live in the country there. Me all right with the one.
You can stay there with your one. Ooh, but Chris, answer the question me there. Chris, if you're still there, then say Chris. After 25 years, you're the one, Gene Rignal. Chris, I am the famous Chris Thomas, according to Chris, in my dead with laugh. Jean says, Chris, after 25 years, she run away. Something now work good
He
because
didn't say she run away. He said
don't
poof.
usually run just so.
Yeah,
Most time money or some other work.
he said
Poof,
poof. He said
gone.
poof. He did not tell her how she left or why she left. He just said poof, she
Yes,
gone.
but Jean is saying that something not working.
To be honest, thinking about it, I'm thinking just out loud. Sometimes, you're kind of happy in the marriage. Like, poof, the person can be gone. But sometimes you're in the marriage or relationship and you think everything is going well. The person's not really communicating with you that, there's an issue. They act like everything is going normal and
Mhm.
then they might be suffering, but they're not letting you know. And then they can just one day say, I'm leaving, or they just pack up their stuff and leave.
And
And you,
that's
the other person, don't really know because they're not showing any signs
Mm-hmm.
that something is wrong. Because you don't know what's going on in their head. So it's
Mm-hmm.
possible that the person can just up and leave and you don't know.
but
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's
they
but
never
that's
let
what
you
we were
know.
talking about. We were saying that there's a deeper problem going on. We're saying that when people get up and leave, it's not necessarily that event that took place just
Yeah.
before they left. It is a problem that has existed in that relationship for a long time. And in
Yeah.
this case that you're talking about, obviously somebody not trust somebody.
Yeah.
And so therefore the communication wasn't going both ways. It's just one way. And so
Yeah,
that's what,
and they don't say nothing. So you can't really blame the other person because you might think you have a happy home. You go into everything and,
All
it's
right.
sad.
Paulette is helping me out. She says India, Nepal, Tibet. Yes. Chris says, replying to Jean, he says, Jean, me still I try to figure it out. Paulette adds that I can also go Nigeria. Don says,
Mm.
persons should take time to know each other, learn each other's values, strengths, and weaknesses. Since no human can change another, one should decide what he or she can live with for making the commitment to marry. Aladdin's lamp, says Karen. Chris, poof, like that. Um, all people, which is Jackie, says, true, Michelle. Paulette says, Leo, there's more. Kenya, China, South.
woo! You
Hey,
can't keep it. We will go to the place where they have the opposite. Okay? Yeah.
mhm. Chris says, he's speaking to Barry. He says, Barry, it works with the right people, which is marriage, having the same mindset. But Barry is suggesting that we do some research and look at families in Africa, in America and Europe. The contract between a man and a woman needs communication and experience to share. We could look at
Yeah.
What
families
contract?
anywhere across the world, and we're
Marriage contract or the
challenges.
contract? The marriage contract or the
Yeah.
or the
I,
or
I
the
know one thing. I know one thing like a lot of people don't talk about is that sometimes in a marriage, you have other people who are so invested in your marriage that they
Mhm.
destroy your marriage. Because sometimes people will have different agendas. So, like you have a best friend or a family member that you might confide in, and instead of helping you to work on that marriage to make it better, they might be the one instigating stuff and be in that person's ears, and this third party help to further destroy your marriage. So sometimes you have to be careful also with who you invite into your marriage. Because necessarily sometimes I know an issue.
what do you mean by that?
I mean
Are you
like
talking? Are we
having
talking
but
about
I
the
mean like
polyamorous part here?
no. I just mean
Oh,
like
okay.
inviting people to be so influential
Right.
in your
Specifically.
marriage.
Mhm.
Because sometimes things that you could work out
Are
necessarily,
you talking
like
about your
work out.
partner, your marriage partner? You're talking about your
Yeah,
marriage.
like you and your partner, like would have friends
Okay,
and
okay.
families are so invested in your marriage, where their
All right.
opinion are louder than what like you guys, like simple things that you guys could work on. The other voice might amplify it, where it becomes a major issue that it should not be. So that's also a big issue to me when other people are actively involved. Like you have to decide, like if both of you are in this together, both of you are in this together to work through it no matter what, and don't
Okay.
get
Now,
people
I was
involved.
when you say other people, you're talking about family members. Or,
Family friends are,
yeah, that's what
like
you're talking
other
about.
people,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Like they don't really know the dynamics of what happened when they put your head to the bed, but they will have strong opinions. And then somebody might listening to that opinion more than actually like looking at what
Well,
works for both
that
of
means
you.
that person is not. If a person is invested in a marriage, there's no way that they should be influenced by outside.
Exactly.
And so therefore that means the investment in the marriage was not secured in the first place. And that
Exactly.
and that's what we're talking about. What are the things
Yeah.
that make marriage not work? And and
Yeah.
and and what you're saying is that um, both persons were not invested in the marriage in the beginning.
Yeah, because both of you
Yes.
have to decide, said this is our marriage, this is our marriage. We're going to work to fix it. Figure out what worked for us to fix it.
To
But
fix.
sometimes
Whoa. To make it to
no,
maintain
like
it.
yeah, to maintain it. Like if you have
Okay.
issues that like two different people come together, so there might be a little thing that you could work on to fix it. But instead of working to fix it, sometimes we go to the wrong ears at the wrong ears give us our, like people would put their experience into your marriage. So to
Okay,
me, I think that you have to leave out the voices, the outside voices, if you
absolutely. We
really
have some
want your.
comments. We have some comments, and let's take them because as she said, who's this? Chris replying to Barry, boy.
Oh,
Barry works with the right people, having the same mindset. Look at this thing. I jump, and we can't catch it.
okay, Dr. Dianna knows best.
Diana,
Uh,
read the comments then because me can't bother with this
I need
jumping
to
thing.
wear my glasses again.
Okay,
Somebody,
replying to Barry Boyd, it says, Chris says Barry, but it works with the right people having the same mindset. Barry says, look at the successful families we did that. Jean says, Michelle, we need to keep people out of your marriage. True. Chris says, are you all aware that your partner can be jealous, intimidated
Yeah, it happened a lot.
of your goals or even your success?
wrong person you're married to.
I
Yeah.
don't know,
Come out
but
of that marriage,
the
then go
right
and
person for a
jump
particular
somewhere else.
time and space, and things have changed. Um, things just change over time. I don't know how we balance it.
Do that.
Everybody,
Come
people
out of
just.
that. Come out of the marriage.
Jean says if people are someone has to make a decision about your marriage, you're not mature and ready for it.
Absolutely.
No, but sometimes you're just seeking guidance. When people have challenges, they get sent to to some older family member, or you even go to your church pastor. And sometimes it is in that safe space that you have sought the guidance. I think that it is.
I
So I
don't
don't
believe that
know
you should go to your
that
pastor.
you're not ready
I
for
don't
it.
think you should go to your pastor because pastor only see things one way. I don't think you should go to your family member because your family member is going to be one sided. I believe that you go to a psychologist who has no clue about your marriage and can reorganize it in a way that they understand so that they can take the right out, can give you the right, well, not the right, but give solutions that are options that you can take. I don't believe to go to a pastor because that pastor going to tell you, say, boy, the Bible say so and so, you have to
No,
obey your wife,
okay, and that's
or that kind of thing. I'm not into that kind of stuff. Go to somebody
okay.
who can. Okay, for example, when a crime occur, what detective tries to do is to recreate the entire crime scene to be
Yes.
able to determine where to go. When you go to an attorney, the attorney tell me every damn thing where you know that happened so that I can recreate.
Language.
Oh, my language. You recreate it. I don't believe your pastor can recreate. You don't have the ability to. I don't believe your family member can recreate because they're just gonna listen and just tell you what you want to hear and you're gone. But
I'm
I believe
telling
that.
you.
Yeah,
I don't know
understand?
that I agree fully. I think that there are some pastors who, and there are some family members who have had more experience than you have, and they can guide you on certain things. So there are some matters that I think that family can guide you with.
Because
Um,
then I passed I know. You remember me tell you that, okay?
Well, you have to
and
kind of have discernment, like when you're talking to
yes, right.
people,
So you have to
because
know who it is that you're speaking to and what you're prepared to speak to them about. You understand? If it's my infidelity in the marriage, I am going to talk to my pastor about it
Well, I
because
think I
it's
think
something
I
that
think
I need to
same
work
here is
on
on.
for myself. But let me take these comments. It says, well, Paulette, she
Hold
said,
on there.
Chris
Is he
says,
here?
I don't see
I
him.
saw a blurb, like
I see a
I
blurb
don't see
here.
any picture.
Oh
Leo,
my
you
god.
make the toe is small and you big. What that?
Oh no, I'm looking to see how to bring it in.
Okay, I see you have 4 slots. Now you make me big and no little. Now you have
It,
4 equal
it
slots.
shows that he's there, but it's I
Maybe
can
his camera isn't on.
is but I can see him down in the corner, but I don't see
Can
him on
see
the
him in the
camera.
waiting room.
No, he's in.
His
Xavier,
camera
are
is
you in?
not on. It's like
I'm
Michelle said.
here.
Okay,
But
but I
his
don't.
camera is not
We're not
on.
seeing you. We're not seeing you. You have a dark spot.
Okay, you hearing me?
We hear you
Very
good.
Yeah.
well.
All right, let me try this again. I'm gonna log out and log back in and see what happens.
All right.
Okay.
Paulette
Maybe
says true. About making not making everybody make the decision. Leo, I still see him in the slot. Um, Chris says my wife asked sought advice and counsel from her single girlfriends over
Yeah.
95-year-old. Um, Chris really has stretched the truth, right? Paulette says, yes, I have a friend who her husband was jealous of her success. They are no longer together. Paulette says, never go to a pastor for marriage advice. You need a licensed professional. That way, the whole church won't know your problem. Jackie says, if you belong to the church, it's good to go to the pastor. I disagree with Leo. Yeah, it depends on what the matter is, though, Jackie, to go to the pastor, not everything.
Also, you don't know the pastor thing at all, because you don't want to tell me what is supposed to happen in the Bible. I don't want to hear that. I want him to. I want the person who sit down in front of me to be able to recreate my situation based on what I said, based on what she said, and then they can come to and give me the great options as to where we're gonna go from there. I'm not into the pastor thing.
So, Leo, I see that we have someone who's joined us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know,
He wants to tell us what he thinks.
So,
Tell us,
Leo,
Before we introduce you, tell us.
Leo,
so
hold on a
I,
little bit. Some reason, Xavier, don't go yet. For some reason, you make us all small. I don't know if people see
We
us
don't know
small.
how to make us big and hold
But
on,
check
let
out
me see.
the virtual
Hold on.
thing in the back. Yes, much
There
better.
you go. All right.
well, first of all, good morning to you and your audience. A lively discussion, Diane, Michelle, and Leo. And I was totally intrigued. I disagree with Leo. Um, 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 fervently disagree. My wife and I are marriage mentors at our church and lead the marriage ministry at our
Talk
church.
about things, Xavier. Mm-hmm.
And so to be quite honest with you, we use the Bible as guidance, but we are very practical in our discussion when we meet with couples. And so it's nuanced, Leo. You just can't take it that this is how all churches do it, or this is how it is done. It's very nuanced in terms of how we meet with couples when it comes to issues and so forth. But
That's great to hear. That's great. That's absolutely great to hear, Xavier. You're still not changed me put my mind, but I appreciate the insert, and I'll be great.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Xavier, and thanks for coming in right on the point when Leo was just going to mash up everybody church business. Juliet says, "Good day, Xavier. Hope that all is well with you." Juliet Roy is sending you special
But
greetings.
let me introduce him.
Special
I've known Xavier before I came to Florida. So let's see. I've known Xavier from probably 2010, 2011, 2012, somewhere there, right? And we started communicating on this particular matter that he's bringing to your attention today. And because I remember he called me and said, what's going on there?
Introduce Xavier. Who is Xavier? Where is he from?
Xavier, the platform that we're on
That's
here.
easy, though.
Hold on, man. It said the woman, yes, man. Dan left me alone, man.
Because we want to
We are
hear
gonna
about
need to go
Xavier.
counseling. Xavier, we need to go counseling.
Oh boy.
So this platform that we're on, I think he's celebrating his 25th year. Is it 25 years?
Well, not on the platform. Jamaicans.com is going into year 30 next year.
Jamaicans.com.
But Best of Jamaica, which we're going to discuss, is 25 years.
Okay, gotcha.
But without the introductions, Leo and I go way back. Let me say this: the first Facebook live show was the Leo Gillen show. That was the first broadcast we had on the Jamaicans.com Facebook platform. So kudos to Leo. He was a pioneer and a leader in this particular area. And so it's always special when I come on a program, and then this program, the conversation with Michelle. Michelle, hi Michelle. Michelle, I go way back. Diana, this is a really lively conversation, and I absolutely love it. I've been listening today and started with the poly and ended up in this, and I feel so bad that I'm kind of interrupting this lively discussion on these relevant topics. And so I won't keep you too long. Leo, I don't know if you want me to just
no,
go
man,
ahead.
Just take it. I just wanted to say that that Xavier is actually the person who runs this particular Jamaicans.com program that you guys are on a weekly basis. That's him. That's the man. Okay.
So this is the man. Let me ask my own questions.
Yes.
This is the man who conceived this idea of having one Jamaicans.com.
Yes.
Secondly, putting it in a platform that could allow us to be interactive.
Yes. Yes.
And this is the man who is also a counselor at his church who
Yes.
deals with marriages. And
Yes.
this is the man who says that, yes, take it to your church. The pastors and all those things. I hear you.
Well, he never said take it to the pastor, I know. He never said take it to the pastor. He said take it to
him.
That's different.
Take it to the special. He said him special.
He says take it to the church because the church has structures that will support such needs because the church needs all needs.
As I said, it's very nuanced. And not all churches. I also will say this: there's some issues that the church cannot deal with. And there are times when my wife and I are talking to a couple and we realize that this is outside of our scope. This is outside of what we can do. And so we will refer them and say, hey, you need to go ahead and see a psychiatrist, psychologist, expert. So you have to know where your scope is and what you can do. And you know, so it's very nuanced, as I said. Every case is different. It's very, very nuanced.
And I want to say good morning to Mrs. Murphy. I know that she's listening to her husband this morning, and she me. Good morning.
Let me just take all the notes that popped up since, and then Xavier can go ahead. Right. Chris says, leave your bedroom affairs at the church door. It's not into the church. Jackie says, Leo, I guess you don't believe in the Bible. He does believe in the Bible. Paulette says, good morning, Xavier, welcome. Jean says, we're all seeing you all. That's different, Xavier says, Paulette. And Paulette says, I love the program, your program. Yay, says Jean. Yay, Mr. Leo, says Juliet. Teresa says, good morning, everyone. Teresa, you're kind of late, you know. Rose Cruikshank says, men must know their place in the institution of marriage. Women need to know how to be submissive. Ooh, marriage will not work if it's not the head. The man is head of the house. Well, let me tell you, Miss Rose Cruikshank.
Well, let's say if I do his presentation.
No, yes, I'm not. I just read.
Let him do his presentation. I will get back to that.
The messages. Paulette says, Xavier, I love your program. What is it like Jamaicans living all over the world? She loves that one. Paulette says, not all churches. And Jean says, yes, Dianna, I get it. We need great marriage counselors in the churches. Xavier, over to you.
Over to you, Xavier.
I am looking at some of these comments, and I know when people hear the word submissive, I want to give this last example before I get into where I'm here. We are all submissive to something and someone, and it does not mean that person is better than the other person. So we must take things into context, and they're very nuanced. We submit to if you have a 9-to-5 job, your boss uses the bathroom the same way you use the bathroom. He eats the same way or she eats the same way. But you are submissive to your boss because you can't say certain things to your boss. You have to have certain respect and so forth. So we need to put the word submission into context again. And it's very nuanced, and understand that submission or submissive doesn't mean that one person is better than the other person or knows something the other person doesn't know, because in all honesty, your boss hired you to make him look better.
Rose, man, I pick up fear big time.
I'm going to move on.
All right,
and really talk quickly why I'm here. I'm appealing to your audience that we're celebrating 25 years of excellence for the best of Jamaica. What is the best of Jamaica, and why we're asking you to nominate and vote in the best of Jamaica. So I'm calling my US people, my Jamaican people, my UK people, my Canada people, wherever there's a large Jamaican diaspora, I'm asking you to nominate at thebestofjamaica.com, or you'll see it on the timeline. It's thebestofjamaica.com. You go there, you nominate. Tell us the best party place in your area. If you're in New York, if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Jamaica, if you're in London, Orlando, Tampa, all of these places, Toronto, where Jamaica. Tell us the best party place. If I'm traveling, I'm passing through there, I want to know if you get a good party. Tell us the best jerk chicken place. Tell us the best event that happened in your area for the year 2024. And the why is it's your voice being heard and providing a guide for others to know when they come into your community, this is what we feel is the best. We're a huge community, not just Jamaica, but everywhere in the world, as I'm learning with the program, Jamaicans to the world. And so we have until November 1st for you to put in your nominations. If you believe this show is the best show, go ahead and nominate this show.
Yes. You better believe that.
Yes, nominate us.
As the best show. Again, as I said, we're celebrating 25 years of Jamaican excellence. In December, we're going to have a celebration, a show in South Florida. We've done a virtual show the last 3 or 4 years. We're going to do a live in-person show and recognize all the folks that have won. We have had Shelly and Julie Mango. Lisa Hanna was recognized as the Person of the Year. We have had multiple winners, Jerk Festival, South Florida, Jerk Festival, New York, recognized as the event. Multiple winners through the 25 years of doing it. So we encourage you, please, thebestofjamaica.com. Put your nominations in and please, let's highlight excellence in the Jamaican community.
All right. Let me just back up. Do you have the link? Can you drop the link in the chat? And
I can drop the link in the chat for you all. Yes, I can do that.
But Xavier, you have different categories.
Yes.
Can you tell us what they were last year, or so we get an idea of what we need to look for? I know that you spoke about other things, but
so let me talk about the most important category.
Right.
The best party.
Best party. Which company was the best party last year?
Well, it depends on where. Okay. And it depends on where you are. I can tell you for South Florida which one won for Fort Lauderdale, because we have Fort Lauderdale area and we have the Miami area. Yes. I know a lot of people think when you think of Florida, they say, I'm coming to Miami. Well, yes. I know have the Miami area and the Fort Lauderdale area. And best party, I think last year in the Fort Lauderdale area was Taste Right. Was the winner for last year. Okay. I think there's in London, I think it's a place called, I'm trying to remember what it's called, Patty something place or something like that was in London. But we will sit there. I don't know if you all do this, but we have friends where we talk about party and you sit there and we'll have a half an hour conversation or more about what made this party best and why this party place is the best party place, and the crust and the meat. I don't know.
Well, let's have a conversation about that, because me don't like Taste Right party, but me love tasty party, but because
well, me not like none of them two party. When me did I grow up at Jamaica, and I don't know where in the States we would find the equivalent, but in Clarendon, in Maypen, there was a shop called Green Shop, and let me tell you, Green Shop had a party crust that was just nothing. Somebody coming from Maypen would have to tell you about that Green Shop party. I'm still looking for it. But if you just allow me to catch up with the messages, just so people can know what it says. Hi Xavier, submission goes both ways. and it's not always negative. So somebody gone back around there. Claudette says they hire the best team. Hire the best team. Claudette says good morning. Morning, Claudette. Rose says, big up my father watching from the UK. Yes, big up your father, Mr. Cookshank, or whatever his name is. Jean Wignall says yes. Claudette says a leader hire the best team. And I shared the link. Don says submission in a marriage should be mutual. No one is always right. For me, one must consider what's the most important or valuable. If the marriage itself is valued, most things can be resolved to mutual satisfaction. This show should be nominated, says Chris Thomas.
I agree.
Oh, yes, we did have a conversation about the Green Chat Party. Yes, Claudette, it was with you. Yes, man, Green Chat Party bad.
Well,
Yes.
well, I
But
want
go
to
ahead.
add, and I want to add to the comments, but go back to Best of Jamaica, right? The person is correct. We are to submit to each other, and there are verses in the Bible that talk about that in terms of marriages and so forth. But this is not the marriage. I'm not here for the marriage. This another time you can invite me back if you choose to, or we can talk about this because, as I said, it's a very nuanced discussion. I always say this to my men. You are told to love your wives like Christ loved the church. That means you must dead for your wife. That's pretty much it. Okay.
Here,
But
here.
I'm not here. I'm not here for that. Okay. I'm going to go on the best party last year in Jamaica now. This is the folks in
Oh,
Jamaica.
we can nominate in Jamaica as well.
Yes, you can. Yes, it's not just the
Joe,
Anywhere in the
diaspora.
world. Anywhere.
we know. Mm-hmm.
Juicy Juicy Patties was the winner for the best patties in Jamaica last year, and
Okay.
and the persons of the year was a tie. Was Lisa Anna and Shelly Ann Fraser Price.
Ooh,
Personality of the
okay.
year last year was media personality was Miss Kitty.
Ooh.
Mm.
And the reggae artist of the year last year was Beres Hammond.
Mm.
Social media personality, Julie Mango. Artist of the year, best artist was Spice. And
Aye, Miss Spicy
and,
separate
and,
so. Ah,
and then best beach was 7 Mile Negril Beach. So that's just a snippet of the winners
okay.
from last
Yes.
year. Yeah.
Yes, thanks for sharing that. So where we going to find space to drop Integrity Commission and all those organizations? We don't have any space for organization appointments or something like that.
Well, if you want to put in the comments that hey,
Okay.
there we need to look at that, but I don't know how many people going to nominate some of these these other places, but hey, you never know. We have
You never
taken
know.
we
You
have,
never
we
know.
have received feedback in the past where we said this city
Yes.
needs to be this location needs to be added.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
earlier in the couple years back, Tampa
Uh-huh.
wasn't on the list, and somebody said, listen, there's a large Jamaican community in the Tampa area.
Yes.
And we're praying for them right now as they're recovering from the storm.
Right. Yes.
But we did get that submission and we added that as a location. Same thing with Oakland. Oakland, we used to just do LA. And they said, no, Oakland has a community there. Leo probably was the one that sent that one, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you believe so, I don't think we have Jacksonville on there, Michelle. But
No, but
Let
it's
Jamaica
fine.
know there.
A huge community is up here. Huge.
I know there's a huge community that's growing there, and probably in the
Mhm.
future, that would be one of the locations that we add for the best of Jamaica. So,
Yeah.
so feedback is always welcome, and we're always open to adding as we go along.
Excellent. 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 Excellent.
Thanks. I'm excited at this, and I'm looking forward to see what the nominations are. You did mention that this year you will have a live show.
Yes,
Have
yes.
you
What date
decided
is that?
what the
Oh,
date? Okay.
yeah.
It's the second week. Look out for more information. It's the second week in December that we will do the live show. I don't want to give the dates out yet. We're finalizing that date, but it will be the second week in December, and it's going to be Florida. And what we're looking to do in the future is move from location. to location. So we may have it this year here, next year maybe Jamaica, next year maybe New York. I mean, the following year maybe LA. You know, so we're looking to move it around and recognize those folks in their particular community at the time.
So what I gather, this is good for Xavier, is promotion of the Jamaican culture in the various communities. Because once you tell somebody, okay, this was the best restaurant in UK last year, that's possible potential business for additional business for that restaurant.
Indeed. I can tell you this. We send out a little sticker for some of these businesses, and you'll see them put their sticker, that Best of Jamaica winner. I go to the Taste right here in Pembroke Pines, and I walk, and the sticker is displayed right up front that they are the best of Jamaica. And so for businesses, it's a recognition of your work when you have people nominating and voting and saying you are the best. It's your customers saying that, and that's a large statement. And kudos to you, on your excellence.
So what is if I were to ask you, Xavier, what is your ideal patty? How would you describe it?
So the meat and it's the meat and the crust, right? But the crust have to be right. Okay.
What is right? What is right? What is the right crust? Okay. Is it flaky,
what's the right
crust? Or it just stay on and
it's not too flaky. It have to have some flake, but not too flaky, right? And I like to I don't want it drop off. All that crust drop off into the back.
Absolutely.
Right? That is not, to me, a good patty. And then the balance of the meat, I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go all the way to Iceland to find the meat in the patty, right? I mean, it have to be close enough, but not too close. Not too close.
Yeah. There has to be some crust first.
Some crust in between. In between the patty and the meat. There has to be some crust to kind of hold it, because sometimes you eat right around the crust, and then leave the meat in a cocoa bread. You leave the meat in the cocoa bread, right? And because the meat and the cocoa bread tastes almost like a meatloaf. So
which patty you describe now? Let's see which patty you describe.
No, man, no. We're thinking Japanese own patty.
To be honest, I haven't had a good patty in years. I think something is happening, because each time I eat patty, I get sick. It's like they're not making it as good. Like I have like heartburn, and I try different patty, cause juicy beef.
Probably just
No,
that's not what it is. Where Michelle come from, they don't make patty. So
no, man, I try different places, and it's always the same. Like when you go somewhere, you always say I need a patty. You just buy a patty. Everywhere I go, it just bad.
So old patty them again.
That is what I was about to say, Leo.
Because not the restaurants.
If the pastry gets sour, it sours when you eat it, so you have to be there and say, I want the fresh patties. Listen, the wait, sometimes sitting in the patty shop and waiting sometime, is the best thing,
Absolutely.
Because you're getting the fresh patty. I know people are in a hurry and quick. No.
Yeah.
So be careful. So be careful. There are some people who are outlets that are.
Yeah, so that's how they think. Maybe
I don't do the
patty shop.
When I want my patty, I want to go where the patties are baked.
Yeah.
Not outlets.
That's the
because
problem.
The outlets, when 6 o'clock come and 12 patty left in the store, what happened is them 12 patty they go and cut 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, right? So put it on the refrigerator and put it back out to make it warm.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You don't know the difference one that it will eat your belly too. All right?
Exactly.
I am accustomed to seeing the tray come out, boom, and put on and them take it off.
And them take it off, right?
That's what
I need to go where the bakery is instead of buy at the outlet.
But because they live at Jacksonville, they don't have no.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have no bakery
outlet up there.
Right.
Right.
But what you can do though is that somebody can FedEx to her the
Yeah.
same day
The
deliver
actual
patties.
patty.
Yes,
Well,
fresh
well,
patties.
well,
Have it.
you have to if it's frozen,
Yes.
yes. But here's a challenge with the frozen now. It's getting the crust back up to
Back to what
par.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my secret is microwave for 30 seconds,
Then
toast the oven at
toast the oven.
350,
Yeah.
at 350.
Yes. Yes. Me tell people that them not understand the thing, you know.
Right.
Microwave for 30 seconds,
30
right?
seconds.
And then take it out and put it in the toaster. Even the toaster, make it go down and come up back. When it
350,
come up, Chris is
one side,
yeah,
flip,
cross your man.
350, give another
Exactly.
side.
The
You-
man know
you-
the thing.
oh
I
man,
must country you come from. I must country you come from.
Yes, we didn't ask, but I'll just catch up with some of the messages and the notes and all on a Saturday party. Hi, I thought I was eating no patty today. I know I need that thing to run over to one of the
Not
parties.
true. Go get a patty.
Julie Mango's Lord, me hungry now, says Lorraine here. Vivian is advocating for vegan patty. She says they're the best. And they're supposed to throw away those leftovers, says Paulette, who not living in this world. And Paulette says, yes, Xavier, yes. Rose has a perspective about marriage and thing that we'll get into another day. But Xavier, usually we ask, and Leo didn't ask. I thank you so much for sharing your accomplishments with us, the wider population, for giving us this space that everybody who Jamaican, who want to be Jamaican, who think they're Jamaican, can come and identify with being Jamaican. Thank you for it. Looking forward to this celebration that you've posted here. But tell me, where you come from?
All
Clarendon.
right.
And the
It's
right
all
answer,
nuanced.
Xavier, is Clarendon. But come.
It's nuanced, so it's very nuanced.
everything,
Um,
family, everything nuanced for Xavier this morning.
yes,
What is
yes.
called a cop out. Cop
So,
out.
so is it okay? Do I have to where I'm born? Is that where I have to say where I come from, or where I
No, no,
spent
no.
Where you
where I spent
born?
the
Where you born?
majority? Where I
Where you
spent the
born? Where you
majority
born?
All
of
of
Where
it,
you
my
born?
cover where you're born because you might satisfy somebody's needs, and then where you
okay.
grow up is
Born,
fine.
born at Kingston,
Oh,
but the majority of my childhood was spent in Portmore. So I
oh,
I I
okay.
am a Portmorite, Edgewater, Independent City. I lived in both places, and that
Yes.
is where I no. The other piece is I was one of those children that spent holidays in the country.
Oops.
So I every summer my mom and dad shipped us off to Tweedside, Clarendon to my grandparents. And so,
Hallelujah, Clarendon.
and so um I know the country life where you're not getting a lunch. You have to go fend for yourself. You
Yeah.
roast yam, you take little oil and salt, and you mix the oil and salt and rub up your yam in it, and that is your saltfish with your make up saltfish with your yellow yams.
You can't say anything there to Michelle, you know, because Michelle will
and,
get vexed because she don't understand anything there. You understand?
and bread
What we talk about?
and
Xavier,
breadfruit.
and
I
breadfruit, when it's breadfruit season, you get roast breadfruit.
Oh, roast breadfruit. So here's the thing now. My cousin, when we come from Kingston or Portmore, when we're coming from Portmore, there's always the countryman against the town man. And so
Yes.
we'll go and get breadfruit, and the town man must eat as much breadfruit as the countryman, right?
Okay.
So everything is a versus back in those days.
Competition.
Everything is a
Competition all day
versus.
long.
Oh, yeah, they always won. They always win because for them belly longer than our belly.
Yeah, God, that's all them deal with is food, food all day.
Exactly. But the things, you got through, man, the country life nice. I enjoyed my summers in the country every year. Got catch fish, and although the fish terrible. Oh man, eating them river fish. No, I never like the river fish.
God, money not taste good.
No.
Oh gosh. Paulette says she's feeling for a party, and Lauren is saying, yes, Paulette, I agree with you. Donette Grant says, I just finished my breakfast and I'm officially hungry again. Paulette Chamber says, big up Portmore. Donette, she said, boy, I just finished my breakfast. I'm hungry too. Xavier, your Kingston man, says Jean. Well, Karen says, yes, that's the way to get your party back on par, gentlemen. Claudette Jennings is celebrating this Clarendon roots or the Clarendon identity. Um, Lauren sharing a story about somebody named Miss Neto who catching hell because she commented about the food. Juliet says, I watch him all the time on his shows. Country life is the best, says Jackie. Xavier, you're born under the clock. I think Jean is sorry for you. Um, I see Oliver have a great looking movie coming out, says Lorraine. Okay, great.
Uh,
Thanks for sharing that.
well,
So
I want to. Could you put Karen's head in the camera?
Oh, yeah, no, say Karen is there.
Because
No, Karen, I'm locked in kind of the studio. I have to message her, and I'll tell you this: we both came back from our exercise group that we work out with on a Saturdays, and I'm not sure she's going to be like, "Let me stick my head in here." I will ask, but I am not sure she's going to stick her head in here.
Xavier, I love you. If I love you one more time, we have this one of our colleagues, and I call everybody who join us on our space our colleague. And one day we asked him for his wife, and him blurt out that she color in her hair. What?
Yeah.
Oh, you could have said that. Said that she's not available. Oh, she have color here. Man, but I
That's Mark, right?
the same marking man. You're the one to have a breadfruit on the counter now to put it in the oven so that we can have it for breakfast. Way
So,
Jamaican. Also, I
so
wish
let me ask you this,
act
Diana.
again.
I'm going to ask you this question: is it a turn breadfruit, or is it because I like them when them turn just a
Turn.
little bit.
I like a proper yellow heart, real yellow heart, but I don't want it sweet.
Okay, I
You
hear
know?
you. Just
Yes,
when it turn into a
yes, I don't want it sweet. When it reach a point, and some people like it sweet and then them fry it over. I like
yeah.
roast my breadfruit, how I roast my. And if anybody ever talk about my roast breadfruit in skills, we're not going to be funny here.
I'm
And then
not
when I
gonna
just
say anything
peel a
about.
piece
I am
and
never gonna say anything on the show about the Dan's breadfruit roasting skills.
so
Because we
so
never see
Diana.
nobody who roast breadfruit in a house pan cold stove, pan sitting stove, with gas stove. That don't make no sense to me. But it's okay.
So Diana, I'm going to ask, what are you having with the breadfruit? Since we're talking food, we have changed
Yeah,
this thing
yeah,
from marriage all the way over to food. So what are
yeah.
you having
What do you
with the
have with
breadfruit?
breadfruit?
all right. So with my breadfruit is salt mackerel with loads of onions and good Scotch bonnet pepper that look like Scotch bonnet and taste like Scotch bonnet pepper. So that is my preferred thing.
Ask
Salt
Michelle. Ask
mackerel
Michelle now. Ask
with
Michelle.
breadfruit.
Ask
So
Michelle the same question.
yes, Michelle, what are you having your breadfruit with?
Coffee.
Listen, breadfruit
No, they don't
alone,
punk me out. Like, man, a country girl. I could
breadfruit
have mine
alone
with
is
sausage.
is clawing. Um, breadfruit
Yes.
alone. So for me, let me tell you, I
Okay.
love red herring. That
Red
is
Oh.
my
herring.
thing. I
Okay.
love a red herring.
But
And
tell me how you do it because I've never
Okay.
fixed
So the
red
breadfruit
herring.
is clawing only if you turn it. Only if it's turned.
well, if it turn, yeah, it's not that clawing if it turn,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's not that clawing if it turn, but
Oh.
if it, as I said, I have to have it with something. I can't just do breadfruit. And red herring is where I go. And the way I prepare my red herring, I soak it to get some of the salt out of it,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to saute the red herring, cut up
Uh-huh.
the onions, my thyme, my garlic, my scallion, and I cut up the scotchy with it same way,
Yes.
and saute that with the red herring, like oil and water, boil it down like a bit, and that's it. Like
Oh, so
pick up
that's how you do a
sausage.
red herring. Let me ask you, you don't have to take a skin off or something. Because I'm
No.
sure somewhere in
Okay.
my life we had to wrap it in a,
No.
in a thing
No. No.
Okay,
and
No.
light
No.
it.
so back in the day, right? You used to have to cut the head off, and you have to skin it, and
No.
so forth. Back in the day, when I was in Jamaica, grew up in the day, that's what you used to do. But no, them give it to you fillet. Them do all of that work for you. It's
Diana
done.
don't
Oh,
know that. Dianna know that. She's still there to Jamaica. You have to understand, so Dan still live in Jamaica because she should get a full errand.
Okay.
Ask me the question and we will tell you how me grew up eating breadfruit. So
Oh, you eat
breadfruit,
it.
couple of ways. First of all, because we are very food conscious, we don't want to waste no part of the breadfruit. The only thing we cut out is the heart, but we scrape it and eat all the skin.
Oh yeah. Oh,
All right. Okay.
that right there, so yes.
I
And
know
then-
that. I know that.
And then we actually cup it, right? So we half the half, and we dig out the thing and put salt butter in the migla, Lord God, salt butter, and not no sweet like that because the butter melt and it's soaking in the migla, the breadfruit, and when you eat it, it's like no
No,
man.
so that's too much
Really
butter,
nice.
too much salt, man.
Or go about your business when you're young, you can absorb it. Or if you have one piece of salt, you just throw it in the fire. It don't matter if you wash.
Oh yes, the roast saltfish. Oh my
And
gosh.
You just want one little kench of
Yes.
salt
Yes.
with one half a breadfruit. And
You
you're
don't-
all right. Okay.
You don't
all
need
right.
much. You do.
Leo, let me ask you
Roast
this. When you eat like a piece of saltfish, you do so.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, a kench. Yeah, that's where me come from.
So folks, here we're talking about food again. Best of Jamaica. If you have a restaurant, because funny enough, there's some restaurants even abroad that still do things the old way.
Yeah.
You know, it's not every Jamaican restaurant you can go and get liver,
Yes.
right?
True.
Not every Jamaican restaurant. There's some that I know some people know. Me love me liver, and my kidney.
True.
Oh, yes. And there's some places. So please, folks, remember the bestofjamaica.com. If you have a restaurant that you know that take you back, that does it the right way, make sure you nominate them for the best of Jamaica.
Oh gosh.
It's been great having Xavier this morning, my
No, I'm
brother.
not so sure. Leo, I was enjoying Xavier being here, but Xavier just turned the show up into
Upside.
food.
Exactly.
I have to figure out
You
as
see
an
why I had to start. You see why I had to start early. That's why I had to start at 9 o'clock this morning.
Oh gosh.
Because I know what Xavier is gonna do when he comes on the show.
Mm-mm.
All right.
No man, Michelle.
Put the
Yes,
people
I
them
agree with you.
upside
You
down.
start earlier, we can get more done. But I am insisting on eating well, drinking beet juice, unsweetened. And Xavier,
Right.
come here now, and I have to go get up from here, go buy a breadfruit, go stop at the supermarket, see if I see the red herring all pickled up, and then come back and cook it. No
Just make
man,
sure
you
the,
know,
just make sure the breadfruit roast from out the door.
So,
And we'll,
so,
yeah, all right.
so mega ask this question though, because if you are a true country person, you
Xavier,
can eat red herring and breadfruit. It's not Kingston. Some Kingstonians, this is only for breakfast, right? You can eat the same food, yellow yam. Me have yellow yam boil in the week. I make some flour dumpling. Your dumpling have cornmeal in it. Me I tell you no, if you don't have some cornmeal and dumpling and it tight, if you pull a teeth, you can bite tonight and pull the teeth out. A so dumpling for me. But let me go back to it. You can eat breadfruit at any time of the day. That is when you know
True.
that the true country people any time of the day you can eat.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's breadfruit is breakfast, lunch, or dinner. No matter.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I disagree with you
Food
with
talking
this cornmeal.
messages.
Hold on. I disagree with him with this cornmeal thing because I don't know if you know when you ever bite in a flour dumpling. When you bite in a flour dumpling and it go quips, that's the taste. It when you bite into it and it makes that little sound, you know say you eat something. The cornmeal dumpling don't do that. It only bind you up.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. The other day, somebody made cornmeal dumpling.
Peace. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I hated cornmeal dumpling, but the other day, somebody made cornmeal dumpling. Not too much cornmeal. And it was really good. So now I'm on the side of putting cornmeal
Listen,
in
I am
the
not
dumpling.
saying, I hear you, Michelle. I am not saying full cornmeal dumpling. I'm saying you're making
Yeah.
your regular white flour.
That's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did.
A little cornmeal in there.
It was
because
good.
that make it tight.
Yeah, it was good.
Actually, cornmeal for us when I was growing up, cornmeal was a way to make the price of dinner cheaper. So you buy a cornmeal was very, very cheap. So instead of buying a pound of flour, you buy 3/4 pound of flour and mix it in with a quarter pound of cornmeal. And then that is cheaper, probably 2 cents or 3 cents cheaper, but it was cheaper, a cheaper dinner. And so me not like it because me thinks the flour was more expensive. And so
Well, you have issues right there.
ah! because cornmeal
He
dumpling.
has a complex.
Yeah,
Let me check
very
the
serious
emojis.
complex with poverty.
But Lauren confesses when I spoke about the dyeing of the hair that it was her mark. And she says yes. Turn and a yellow heart, says Juliet. Lauren says, Lord, she hungry. She just had lick her lips. Paulette says, I haven't had breadfruit in a while. I like them when they are turned, roasted, and fried. Nice to see you all on same live, says Erica Hall Maxwell. Thanks for saying and sharing. Lauren, she hungry. Michael Lecky says, yes, Diana, we can have a discussion on MSMEs. Michael Lecky is a former president of the Small Business Association. And earlier on Xavier, he made a comment and I was saying that, he should come on so we could talk about. He says, I also was shipped out on the summer holidays to Grange Hill in Westmoreland.
Oh my God.
Lauren Hayes said coffee sweetened with condensed milk.
Oh
This is
yeah.
the breakfast with what them having them breadfruit with.
Okay.
Jean Wignall says curry chicken back and breadfruit lox. Lauren says chocolate tea. Red herring with roast breadfruit in a popper. Yes. Roast breadfruit with ackee and saltfish with fried plantain, says Claudette Jennings. Yes, Lauren, she hungry and she had Juliet says ackee and codfish with a whole heap of seasoning. Me love her rendering. You know you're talking, Xavier, says Juliet. Foreign red herring fake, says Stuart. Paulette, so must say you eat the skin. I mean, I don't know if the breadfruit skin she talk, but it don't it become the breadfruit skin. Paulette really want to know if you eat the skin.
Of
Vivian Harris,
course. Of
Edward laugh.
course. Of
Juliet says,
course.
yes, Dr. Diana. Leo, you are too funny with your breadfruit. Jeffrey Tavares says, the most honorable Dr. Diana, good morning. Xavier, you have to understand, Jeffrey usually come in here and he only hail up Michelle.
Yeah, Mr. Michelle.
Lovely Michelle, pretty Michelle,
This strange to hear is Diana, no.
kind of thing. Yeah, when we turn this morning, the most honorable Dr. Diana, good morning. Morning, Jeffrey. Thank you very much, but you've ignored the rest of the guests. What's wrong with you? Lorraine says, Lord, Dr. Diana, you are get your props. Yes, yes. Somebody notice. Lorna says, good morning, guys. Look at my nice friend Xavier. Lorna is here. Xavier, you're getting special big up from Lorna. Um,
Hi, Lorna.
Xavier, thanks for joining, says Paula Chambers. You have been a great addition to the show. And here Xavier, true to himself, here Tavares now. The most beautiful woman in the world, Miss Michelle. Good morning. In caps for emphasis. Teresa Townsend says, my dad loved red herring and boiled dumpling and yam. Michelle, you admire. Jeffrey greeting you, says Lorraine. Everybody know. Uh-huh. Jackie says, I love white dumplings. I
Ah,
only like flour
that's
dumplings.
my girl. That's my girl.
Well, Paulette is right there too. She says she only like flour dumpling.
That's
Claudette, Alan Mitchell says, what about boiled breadfruit? We country people eat it boiled most of the time.
So,
Speak for yourself,
so,
me there. I like it
it's
boiled.
like somebody. It's like
so
somebody who cook soup, and them
the
and them.
only way I like boiled boiled breadfruit is in
And
soup.
so, yeah.
Because man, that thing the bland, it bland when you boil it. But the little saltfish or nothing don't change the taste. It have to be in a soup where it's soaked in
Yeah,
the flavor.
The
that's
flavor.
true.
Well, I
It
tell you this:
absorb the flavor.
if you're from the country, you will know that we don't boil the roast breadfruit. It's the young breadfruit that's boiled.
Okay,
So it
so
has
Yes,
a
so it tastes
different,
almost
yes,
green.
different
Tastes like
flavor.
exactly. So
nothing.
Leo, you just went into a point, and I'm so sorry, Diana, because I know you're reading through comments that the sweetest thing, and a country me learn this, where me
Yeah.
get it from, was the boiled fried dumpling. You know me I talk about you boil
Yeah,
the
yeah,
dumpling first.
Monday morning.
You
I mean,
boil the dumpling
next morning.
first.
Yeah,
And
next morning.
then you slice him. And then you fry
You're saying that
him.
the wrong way. You're saying that the wrong way because
Okay.
they don't boil the dumpling just for fry it. It's the leftover dumpling.
I know it's a leftover.
Okay, all right.
I know it's a leftover dumpling, right? And then you
That's
fry.
the best thing. That's the
Oh
best
my!
thing ever.
Listen, you are wait the next
The
day.
next morning,
Oh
just
my!
to get that
Oh
because
my
it's so unusual. It's unusual, right? So
Oh
you
my
wait
God.
for it and oh yes.
Listen, you specifically put your dumpling them aside, right? Because you get your plate, you know, you put the dumpling them aside and say, "May I leave the one for tomorrow, you know." And
Yes.
somebody else, nyama for them dumpling, and I look for your fresh dumpling the next day, right? But you said my cousin used to tell me, no, don't eat half your dumpling. Don't eat half your dumpling because the sweetest thing gonna happen tomorrow. I tell you, oh my God.
I also think it's disrespectful when somebody cooks soup and not put no dumpling in it.
Yes.
Completely disrespectful. Yeah.
Yes.
That's complete disrespect.
I'm gonna cook soup today.
What you putting in it, Michelle? Talk up the
Chicken
thing.
foot dumpling.
Remember to do that thing with the ends first.
I will do it. I will chop off the claws this
Yes.
time.
Michelle, cook the chicken foot with the
Love
claws.
you, man.
Oh,
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That's
know,
why I think.
I have a feeling, Xavier, you're a real foodie. You are a foodie.
I love food.
I cook. I love to cook, and
Good.
trust me.
Hey, don't come on the show. Don't come on the show. Come embarrass the other man on the show, you know, Bridget. Just because you know how to cook. No matter come on the show, come
The
embarrass
last
the
time
man.
you cooked the house bundong.
No. So I'm going to give you a quick story. So what happened was that when my wife went to do her, and she said she can't join. She said no, she'd have on makeup or not. She's not joining.
A woman
But
after her own heart, yes.
My wife, when she was doing years ago, doing the master's program, she used to cook, and she started the master's program, and then I started to cook. I would go to my mom and her mom and so forth. And then when she came, finished the master's program, she came back to the kitchen. And so she would, cook a meal here, but I'm looking in and I said, "Is what are you putting in there?" And she said, "Is what I mean," and I'd question her so, and she got annoyed. So she said, "Listen, you come cook." And basically I took over the kitchen because it's my kitchen.
Oh my God.
And I took over, and my wife and I became the cook, and that's how it's been.
Don't come back on the show, yeah. Don't come back on the show, yeah, because I
You
embarrass
want to make it worse? You want to make it worse?
Yes,
Let me make it worse for you.
Make it worse.
My wife never lifts a finger to wash a dish in that house. I
Yes,
take
make
care
it
of
worse.
all the dishes
Are
in
you
the house.
stop now, Xavier? Now it seems like decent men are out there.
So my
They
wife,
are.
my daughters
That's
like, it's not
encouraging.
fair.
Talk of the
It's not
thing is
fair.
encouraging.
We're going back to the marriage thing from food. So you see the transition? What a good transition back to the marriage thing.
Yeah.
So my wife knows, she has, in a marriage, she does this well. I don't like doing laundry.
Yes.
Don't put me there.
Okay.
She don't like doing dishes. So guess what? Fair
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Nice.
You do this. This is how marriage is. You negotiate. You figure
Give and
out
take.
what you're best at, and whoever is best at what. This is where it is. So I do have a problem. I do have a problem with it. I used to love vacuuming. Oh my gosh, I loved vacuuming. Just because I could put the little lines, and I make triangles. The vacuum.
He may have no polisher when we grow up. I'm sure he may have no polisher.
No,
polisher.
me know about the polish. Me
Polisher.
know about the polish. Me had to polish my grandmother's on a Saturday. Oh my God. You take the coconut husk and you
Yes,
put
yes,
the polish
Polish.
on there and you
yes.
polish. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
I
but
like
the
Professor
polish that
Tony.
we may talk about is the electric one where you stand up
I know that one too. The little one with the little
yes,
round one
yes,
on
my
the
one
side.
have
yeah,
three. My
yeah.
one have three,
Come
man.
on, man. Of
Three
course you know that
brushes.
one. Of course. You know?
Yes. All right, no,
So
hold on for all of this. There's too much to catch up with. Ton breadfruit anytime says Karen Rowe. And Jean says mixed flour will stretch the dumpling. Claudette says, Leo, we call it 1 pound of mixed flour.
Yes,
Claudette
that
Jenny
is
says,
true.
parents send you to shop to buy mixed flour.
Mixed flour.
Flour and cornmeal. Donnet Gunn said, Locks, I'm salivating all over the place. Where I live in Georgia is far, far from all the major metropolitan areas, and I have limited authentic Caribbean food access. This discussion has hunger twisting my belly tight. Donnet, host me there. We will when next time in Georgia, I'll invite you over and you can come. I cook for you. Karen says just a little cornmeal is in that flour. Yes. No mention of shad, says Karen. What is shad? Jean
Whoa,
Wignall
whoa,
says,
whoa, 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 whoa.
uh,
If you don't know shot, Diana, something is
hold on a
wrong.
little bit. Juliet says, next morning food fried dumpling.
You
Paulette
shot,
says,
shot. You
that is
don't know
the
shot, Diana.
fried dumpling. Jackie says, yes, overnight fried dumpling is the best. Yummy. Leftover caramel dumpling and dirty gal, aka Tin
Oh,
Mackerel, says Jean Wignall. Paulette Shia laugh. Lauren says, whoa. Sometimes you don't have oil to fry the dumpling. You just roast it on fire. Cool, says Claudette. Leave her alone. Michelle is learning, says Juliet. That's very good, Xavier. True, says Paulette. Exactly, says Lorraine. Paulette says what? And I don't
okay, that
hold.
person who mentioned shad must be from St. Mary. Because it not think it anywhere else in the country. Because Xavier don't know about shad. Michelle don't know
the
about shad.
fish,
Diana don't know about shad. Yes.
Yeah.
the
Shad,
fish, right?
yeah, but
Shad
shad
fish.
is salted than salt mackerel. And
Yes.
shad has, and
So it looks like salt mackerel.
Saturday morning, it's like the only time me see shad pan store shelf was Saturday morning, and it have more bone than any fish that you ever know. But somehow the country people them love shad. I didn't get it. It's good for what do you think name rundown. Same thing we do with salt mackerel.
Shad.
Mm.
So sorry. So shad is a salted
Very
fish that you go and buy in the supermarket
incarn fish, incarn it. I can't incarn it.
Yep. Yep.
that has been cured.
Diana, can.
Xavier wouldn't try it. Xavier, I thank you so much for sharing, all that we do and the compromise that you have worked out in your marriage to make it work. Everybody doing their own thing. It is encouraging for Michelle and I as we look to shop and encourage that there are men other than the Leo types that can't cook. That is
No,
there.
you really show that there are decent men out there who were
Yes.
raised
But
well, who don't mind.
just because me can't cook, me not decent. That
Right.
No,
that
you're
Well,
decent, but
but you
apart
see,
and
with
from that
this way of
compromises that you
thinking,
must
though.
Michelle, you
cook.
misspoke.
No, no,
no,
I
here's
didn't
the thing.
misspoke. With his way of thinking, you could tell his way of thinking, not only about the cooking, but his way of thinking. It's in line with my views
So
of how a
Michelle,
relationship is.
Diana,
So when
Yes,
I'm
but
saying
but
I
but
have
but
to
Michelle
compromise,
talking me
I
out
don't
because
have
me,
to.
you go take her on right
no,
now.
no, no,
You
no.
can
But
cut me
Michelle
on.
is saying that the fulsome nature of who Xavier is
No.
is what is encouraging to her that there's hope
Exactly.
yet. But she loves and adores you as always, which is why she's
Hell
always
no, that's not what I said.
that
I'm
goes without
sorry.
saying.
Where did that part come from?
So, to defense of Leo, let me say this
No,
because
say it careful.
no,
Leo
hold
cannot
on a
cook.
minute, hold on a
Leo
minute,
cannot cook.
hold on a minute. It's not about cook. There is nothing written in any books that this person should cook or that person should cook. We have culturally, arbitrarily
Hmm.
assigned certain things to certain
Yeah.
genders, and there is
Yeah.
nothing assigned that genders must do this and genders must do that. And so
Hmm.
Leo may be very good at washing cars, painting,
Yeah.
fixing all of these sort of things. And
Sleeping too.
so, and so the woman that Leo finds may not be a painter, may not like to wash the car. She may love to cook, or she may love to do something else. So it's how you
Really?
match up.
You get
It's
it, Michelle?
it's it's finding your, where you can
Match.
compromise and say, I am good at this, you're good at that. It's the person I think where the problem is, you meet some men and they're like, I must take the bank account and this,
Yeah.
and if you're not good at the bank account, no, don't do the bank statements, don't do the thing that because you're the male, nothing is
Yeah.
assigned to you.
Right.
Nothing is
Absolutely.
there's no gender assignments. You do
Absolutely.
and you compromise and you work it out in your marriage. And when you do something like that, the rhythm, you're in sync. You're clearly in sync when everybody is doing. Your goal is to maximize your partner.
And
That is your goal.
that's
Maximize
physical.
your partner to their ultimate what God wants them to be. You're to maximize them that way. So
And
I'm
and,
not
and you know
defending
that's
Leo
a
fully,
great way.
but
That's a
but
great way to help out here. So Xavier, the show actually started on what is it that makes the marriage work or not work, and we were talking about some things, the trust factor, the respect factor, and all that good stuff. But this is actually one of those things that help the marriage, because now you find your rhythm. Now you find what it is that you can do with each other to make things. But from a different perspective, we were definitely talking about the trust. How much do you trust me to say? Dianna actually brought an example and said, boy, is it okay for me as the woman to look on a man out there and say, boy, him look good, him look sexy, that a man would I like go to bed with, and say that to her husband, and is that okay? I say to her, say, yeah, that's fine. Now what's wrong with that? It's okay. But because you have that trust factor to know that it is okay to say these things without being judged and so forth. Not that you're gonna do it, and not
So-
that you're gonna do that kind of thing. But
Right.
So I'm going to say this. I'm going to disagree with you on
Yeah.
on a wife or husband saying that, boy, I'm gonna say a sexy girl, or I'm gonna say a sexy man, and so on and so forth. My thing is always this: what you words you use, is it true, right? Would God want me to say this? Does this help my marriage? And does it build up my partner? Those are the words you want to use. So you want to be very careful of what you say. Am I building up my partner? Is this going to help? There are certain things you just don't say. You don't have to say it.
You see why I wouldn't go to a pastor. Because the first thing that you said to me a while ago is what God wants.
No.
And I'm saying to you that I don't want anybody to determine what my relationship with my wife is.
But Leo, if you heard me, I gave you 3 points. If you want to pull away, do what I said,
that you
because
must.
I'm saying to you spiritually, there's a spirit in you that talks to you,
Yes.
and you know good and bad. There's a spirit in you. Okay. So my point is, let's take away where I said you go talk to God. Let's say you not go talk to God,
All right.
right?
The other
Does
ones
it
are,
does it build your
Your
wife
partner. Yes.
up?
of course, it
Does
does.
it build your marriage, saying, Mr. Somebody
Yes.
sexy, Mr.
Of
Somebody
course it
sexy
does.
out there? Does that build your marriage?
Of
Yes,
course it
because
does. It does,
for me,
because you're opening up your
and,
relationship.
and,
Yeah, it does.
well, I don't know, Xavier. I would want to look at it to say yes, it could possibly work both ways. My husband come to say, "Boy, I see this girl and she look good enough. You should probably try doing so and so with your hair. Why you don't try this? Or why don't you make us try so and so? Or
comparing.
go to this other
Comparing.
gym
And that's
because
not how I look at it. It's not how I
You're,
look
I don't see it as
it's a
comparing. I think it has
comparison.
some
It's not,
benchmark.
it's not, that's not how I look at it. I also look at it in the sense that Michelle brought up polyamory. Because if you're in a one-on-one relationship with your wife, it makes sense that you can speak anything to them. If you're in a relationship where there are two wives and one husband, or two husband and one wife, it is okay for you because it builds you up. It's okay to say it because it says we can talk about anything. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to do it.
Right.
But if you are going to do it, then you're gonna do it because
But
you're in a
but
polyamorous relationship. And so that's what I'm
think of the
saying.
insecurity. Think of what you
I
have just
agree.
dropped
Hmm.
into your relationship by making these statements. If you're looking and saying this hairstyle is better, how much time you going to come back and tell somebody that hairstyle look better than the one you have? If there's other ways and other means of going about and saying, hey, I see you try this, or I see you try that like good, or whatever. But comparing is really one of
I
those
don't.
things that it's
I
almost
never
like
said anything about
I
that. I think
you're,
that's
you're
Diana. I think that's
shopping.
Diana's
could I
argument.
And
can
That's
I
not
can
mine.
I opine?
Yeah, man. You don't want to. You don't want to ask. You
Xavier,
don't want to ask.
Counsel,
Just
yes,
opine.
counsel.
Just opine.
I agree with Xavier
wait,
because
hold on. You remember
You must spend up
Xavier,
time with
Xavier,
Xavier.
Xavier,
X
Xavier,
Xavier, right?
Xavier,
Xavier.
Xavier,
Xavier.
Xavier.
I always have butcher people name.
Don't put an
Xavier.
X. Just think of Zira.
Xavier.
Xavier.
Okay. Xavier. I agree because sometimes the thing is that you compare the person to other people, so it does destroy them. Because when you're looking at it, it's like, you're my husband. Are you not happy with me? What is your problem? So it destroys me, like my mental and everything. As a spouse, you're supposed to encourage the person. You choose me because you love what I brought to the table. You love how I look. You love everything. So encourage me. Don't destroy me by telling me, oh, I see this lady and this lady. No, don't do that.
Yeah,
That's
but
hurt.
that's oh, you see how that's a different perspective. You are looking at it as, oh, I am not supposed to do this. Well, I am looking at it as I am supposed to do this. That's a totally different perspective. I am saying I am very open to discussing anything with my ex-wife, with my wife for us, with my wife,
hallelujah.
with my wife. I am open to speaking directly without any kind of barriers with my wife at any point in time. And so therefore, if she sees something that attracts her, I want to know. It doesn't necessarily mean that she wants to do it. She's saying, boy, Leo, that man, they look good. Yeah, no problem with that. Hopefully, we can say to her, oh, girl, that girl, they look good, and so forth. And it's no big deal. So if you
It,
put yourself in a cocoon that says, I have to do this, and this is the only way that I'm going to be, then kudos to you. But I don't put myself in that. I open my mind, and I hope my wife will open her mind. That's the kind of person that I want to be able to discuss and be frank about reality and life. That's
You
how I
know,
do.
I thank you for your perspective, and I too probably differ on a few counts. I don't see it as judgment to say, well, boy, if my husband chooses to tell me, or my partner says, Diana, so and so, I saw so and so, and boy, she really look good, says she going to some new dietitian or something. Why don't you try it since you've been struggling with the weight management issues? It's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that kind of a conversation. And some aspect of it might very well equate to a comparison that comparing, but I see it as helping. I'm going to take my notes and my messages. Shad is in town, Kingston, one ugly that you can corn with salt. Dr. Diana says, Jean, me now go buy no fish when me have to corn myself. My days are corning things done. Lorna says, I'm defending Leo. I think he would make a great husband.
Thank you.
Paulette says, I like that, Xavier. I disagree with that, Leo. And Jackie says, Amen, Xavier. Paulette says, agree with you, Xavier. Vivian Harriet says, totally agree with Xavier. Look like Xavier win. Lorraine says, yes, Mr. Xavier. Claudette Jennings says, absolutely, Xavier. Paulette said, no, I don't think you should say that to your spouse. Um, Preach, Xavier. We have reduced the term submission in marriage to a negative connotation, even though intellectually we know and understand and submit daily in other areas of our life. What? All star crew today with Mr. Xavier Murphy? I didn't know Jamaicans lived in Siberia until I saw his show, says Mark. True, Michelle, says Paulette. To each his own, says Vivian. She now joined no ship. She said to each his own. Leo, there are some things you don't say it to your spouse, says Paulette. If you are looking at other people, you need to rebuke it. Xavier is right. says Lorna, you have to think before you talk. What would we just do or say? Leo, don't tell your woman that anyone look hot. All right. Pauline Campbell says that's different, Dr. Diana. But if you are comparing, that's a problem. Um,
Yes.
Jean says, I am like being my own, she likes being her own unique, authentic self. Yes, I will take advice from others if I need it, but don't be compared or compete with
Yeah,
others.
I'm not into the comparison thing,
We're
and
not comparing.
yeah,
We're just
but I
saying that your
understand what Diana
advantage to
said.
be
Yeah,
had
but yeah.
from it. Leo, are the people in your YouTube still on? I'm not seeing any comments popping up for them. Facebook
I
crew is
wasn't really looking, I don't know.
So I want to say the key thing, as I said, is will it edify or tear down your relationship? And it's how you
Right,
say it.
right,
That's the
right, right.
key point, is that what, is it going to edify? And here's the thing about it. If you have an ulterior role in saying, hey, this person is this, or this person look good, or whatever, and you're really is an ulterior selfish mode maybe in the back of your head to say
Yeah,
it sometimes. You're saying it to basically say,
to
hey,
introduce something
I,
that's wrong. That's
and
totally
so
wrong.
and
Absolutely.
so you have to really look at how you say it. And the
Yes.
bottom line is, will it edify your marriage, your relationship by what you're about to say? Because there are many ways you can say things and still get the same effect that there is. If you say, pick up that over there, sir, or you say, honey, hey, I think you
Could
left
you?
something
Could you?
here.
Could you?
It's
Yeah.
totally different
And
on,
I, and
on
I don't
how
and
you
I,
say
I
it.
don't think that's where we were going, because what at the top of the show, what we talked about was trust. Because I said to Diana, the first thing that I'd want in my relationship to develop quickly is trust between me and that woman. That when I say something, that you know exactly that I am not saying it to demean, or I'm saying it to help. And what I want from the person who is in front of me is the same thing, that we are respecting each other's views, that we're respecting each other's opinion, and we're bringing similar things to the table in terms of our outlook in life. Trust is the biggest thing in marriage. If you don't have that trust, Michelle came in and talked about communication. There's communication problems. I say, without trust, you're going to have communication problem, because one person going to want to get over the other. But to me, if you have built in that trust in every level of your relationship, from the pen from the pin to the pen, it is what drives the rest of your relationship. And so I believe if I say something like, oh, I like that woman, or that I like the way that woman look, she would never be taking it to the point where I am trying to bring somebody into the relationship for personal reason. That's not what it is. Would be something that I'm expressing something to her, and she can do the same thing. So, I don't
Let,
think, yeah, yeah.
let
Um,
me tell you something. Let me just take two more comments.
Hold on. I think
Says,
Xavier is gonna say something. Let him.
oh, sorry.
no. I think trust is crucial to a relationship, but I also think in terms of, to build that trust will take communication. To build trust, you're going to need the communication platform to build the trust. That's the base of it, the communication.
Actually,
And because you're
communication
able
should
to, because I won't trust you if you can't communicate to me what you want to say or how to say it. I can't trust you. So that communication platform has to be so strong that I can then trust you to communicate something to me in a good way. So if we're not communicating
well,
on,
transparency.
if the foundation is not built for communication, then you can't have trust. Communication has to be there. If I can't communicate clearly with
Okay.
you, they work hand in hand. But communication, you can't trust somebody who can't communicate. Is where I'm going. They go hand in hand. But
Sure.
when you start a relationship with someone, the way you communicate to them, because you don't start out with trust. You don't start out with telling them deep things. You
Oh,
start
no,
with,
man, no, no, no,
when you
no.
go on that first date, it's how we communicated, and I felt, oh, I was able to speak freely to this person. I was able to communicate freely to this person. And then that trust factor slowly starts to build as that communication gets stronger in that relationship. But I don't disagree with you on trust enough.
Yeah, man. As I said, I
I'm
think
just
what
saying the foundation is
I think,
communication.
man, I think
All right,
most
Leo, before you
importantly in that,
respond, I insist on taking the message. Lauren says, true, true, Xavier. Lorna says, you're here, Dr. Diana. Listen to Leo. Jackie from the Brunswick Church says, trust and communication works together. Go
yeah,
ahead, Leo.
and I agree with the communication piece. I think you need to take it a little bit deeper because it's the transparency in that communication that really the clarity. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
the transparency, and that's what I said. As quickly as we can build that trust. That's what I said. That was my point. That was my words. As quickly as you can build that trust, and the only way you're gonna build that trust is through transparency. And when you're transparent, you know what he's saying, she knows what you're saying, that kind of thing. And that's what this is all about. I believe that you're never going to get to, hey, I like how that girl look if you're not transparent. That is
Mhm.
absolute.
And I disagree. You never want to say that to somebody, that I like how that girl look, because you're sowing the seeds
Thank you.
you're sowing the seeds of insecurity
that
when
is
when
that is your relationship. Not me,
when,
not you, but
when, I will tell you this. My
yeah.
wife and I'll give you a backstory. My wife and and some of you may have seen the YouTube video how I said I married my best friend. My wife and I were best friends. My wife and I, before we even dated, my wife and I were friends where I would go out and I would say to my wife, hey, that look like your type of guy. Go check him now. And so on. And she'd say, that girl that look like your type of girl. Go check him now. And that is where we were. She would tell me about her dates. I would tell her about my dates. She would give me relationship advice. I would give her relation. We were best friends, okay, in terms of the communication.
And that changed over time.
And that changed. And it's not that we don't joke sometimes and say, say, look, this person here or that person there, but we don't jump into where we used to be back then, where we say, the girl is sexy,
And that
really
works for
sexy.
you. Yeah,
Or
that works for you.
the man there, because then I don't want to sow the seeds of any type of insecurity when I was a single man and she was a single woman and we were looking at different people and so forth. I don't want to throw any of that in there. So that is what I say. If
Yeah,
something is not going to build up or edify the relationship, I'm not saying it. That's pretty
I
much
agree
where
with you 100. You're a
you know,
great husband. You give hope. Great
um,
husband.
There's hope for
I
us
give
all.
credit. I give
Great wife.
God, a great wife. Yes,
God.
a patient wife. And don't by no means I mess up all the time. I just have grace. She gives me grace. We
Yeah.
both mess up. We both have grace, and let the small things go by, because as people we'll annoy each other all the time. Just let the small things slide. Don't worry about the small things.
Well,
God.
um,
Yeah.
Did you
Claudette
So
says,
realize
I
that?
have
Did
to
you realize
I
that
have to
we are
jump
past
off. I
yeah.
have to jump off because I have
we
a
need to
baby
jump
shower
off
I'm
too.
headed
Our
to.
show done.
Everyone, please remember, go nominate best restaurant, best patties,
Best
nominate the
online
show,
show.
best show at thebestofjamaica.com. All right. Thanks, y'all. And y'all have a
Thank
good
you,
one.
Xavier, so much for
Thank you
being
so
here. It
much.
was good having you.
You too.
Let me
Thank you
just
so much.
wrap up with the comments. That is there. Trust and communications work together. Claudette Jennings says that was a great show today. Mature conversation and fun. Trust and open communication is what she advocates for in the marriage. Jackie says great show today. Paulette says amen. Yes, Xavier. Words are seeds, and it creates. Great show, says Paulette. Blessing, says Vivian Harriet. Guys, I don't even know we have time for like a piece of poetry or any birthday
It's
greetings.
past 12 o'clock, I guess. But we,
It's bestofjamaica.com. It has been shared in the link.
yeah.
Please go vote for conversations. Go ahead,
But
Leo.
I thank you guys for being here today. It's been 3 hours just run off like that, Diana. 2 hours just run out like that here, Michelle. But we'll be
Yeah.
back again next week. It's
Hold on,
been,
I really did on from 9 o'clock.
yeah.
Leo, no, we weren't on. We came on a
Oh,
little bit late. We've
No, it
been
was
on
like
for
10
2 hours
minutes past
and
tonight.
3/4.
Mm.
So you're hoping next week to come on at earlier, Leo? Just be sure. Okay,
Yes,
fine.
because we can't handle all of the issues in 2 hours because I'm not chat too much. Get go out on a personal journeys and all and something and come back. By the time we come back, the show done. You see the show done. It's past 2 minutes, 3 minutes past 12. So.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you guys. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys next week again. Great
God,
show.
this shall take us out.
bye, everyone. Have a wonderful Saturday evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And see you next week.
Bye
Bye.
now.
Bye.